Hathaway, and this one is called "What Is Love." It's a lovely piece here, a song done way back in the days, And Hathaway is is a black musician, and of course, he is so hot right there. Well, this is how I'd like to welcome you to the program, uh, the talking points. And guess what? Why we did not come on today at 8 o'clock. For those of you who are viewing, we didn't come on at 8 o'clock today because we had our first newscast today. The first presentation of Blaze News Point was held today, and it went for 30 minutes. And so this is the reason why we did not come on as usual. And we plan coming on every day of this presentation at 8:30 or hopefully 8:35. So you don't want to hold us responsible for that because we have to feed you with information, local information, as well as information from the regional scene before you can, of course, get to the program, the talking point. So let me say good evening to you. Welcome. Again, my name is Anthony Phillips. I'm going to be joined later on by uh, Gibson Jiro, who is the host. I'm just the co, though. And because he has not been connected yet, that's why I'm kind of presenting and introducing the program. But I'd like to say hello to you all and welcome to our broadcasts. Today is Thursday, and if I say Thursday, I mean the if I say Thursday, today is Thursday. Yeah, today is Thursday. The That's the second day of the month of April, and the year is 2024. What a pleasant way. I'd like to say hello to you and welcome to our broadcast. This is Bliss Radio, and this is the program, The Talking Point. Once again, I'd like to sincerely apologize to you for coming on a bit late. Normally, we come on at 8 o'clock, but for today's edition of the program, we are on a little bit late. It's due to the first news presentation of the program, Blaze News Point, 30 minutes of all of the latest news from Liberia and the regional scene. My name is Anthony Phillips again, and I'd like to say hands up to you all. Now, this is exactly what we're going to be looking at tonight on the program, the talking point on Blaze 90.7 FM. As you may know already, the House of Representatives were the first group of people to sign the resolution for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Uh, it was sent to the House of Senate and they viewed it. They came up with an agreement and they signed it. I can't say all of them, but the majority bloc signed the resolution for the creation of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Oh, yes. You won't believe that uh, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, today, uh, this is unbelievable, but it's real. Today signed Executive Order number 131 for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court for Liberia. I'm going to hold you right there. Let me welcome that's ST Salif, to the show this evening. Welcome, sir, and I'm so pleased to have you as one of my panelists. I guess Mr. Jiru will be joining us later. But let me say hello to you and welcome to This Thursday edition of the Talking Point. How are you? How is
Yeah.
your, or I don't know, should I say was or is, because I guess it's after 3 in that part of the world you are.
Yes. It's 20 to 4.
20 minutes to 4.
No.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just hold you there. I'm going to hold you a little bit.
Oh, 19 minutes, not 20, 19 minutes to 4.
Yeah, because I got 19 minutes up to 9 o'clock here in
Yeah.
Liberia. Now, let me hold you there. President Joseph Boakai signs Executive Order number 131 for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. A lot of people are saying we are experiencing electricity problem. We are experiencing the increase in the price of basic commodities on the Liberian market. As a matter of fact, as I speak to you, the price of a gallon of gas is skyrocketing. A lot is happening. In fact, there is this restriction order that has been placed on motorcyclists, which the order will be taking effective on May 15th from plying major streets in the city of Monrovia, not around Liberia, but Monrovia. Up to present, the president of the Republic of Liberia have not, I mean, has, in fact, I don't know how to tell me, but he have not completed his government naming of ministers, deputy ministers, assistant ministers, managing directors, general managers, and you just name them. Now, he was able, comfortably seated today, and sign the executive order number 131 for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Firstly, we got 3 issues we're going to talk about tonight, but let's begin with this Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Mr. S.T. Sharif, and as an expert, most especially in the field of sustainable development, what do you think this means for Liberia? The president signing the executive order for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in the country.
Uh, First and foremost, thank you for having me. It's a good thing to be on the show tonight or today. I missed yesterday. It was really crazy day for me
Yesterday
yesterday.
was so exciting. I dare you want to watch the replay of the show.
I would try to do that. I would try to
Okay.
do that. Yes. So, but, and then the point of correction when we were talking about the time, it was actually at that time because it was 11 minutes to 4 instead of 19 minutes. So now it's about 8 minutes to 4. So
Exactly.
I just wanted to make that correction.
That's the same time. So I
Signing,
just want to
yeah,
watch.
signing of executive order 131
131.
for the establishment of the Work and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia is a right step in the right direction. It's a good step in the right direction. It's a first step. It's laudable. We can applaud that. We can all get behind that because of the atrocities that were committed in our country. They got to be accounted for. Somebody started those atrocities and people got to pay for it. Charles Taylor is still in prison, serving 50 years term for the crimes in Sierra Leone. And it was just preposterous that the war in Sierra Leone started in Liberia, and yet Sierra Leone could have closure on the atrocities committed there, and then Liberia, that was the beacon of everything that happened in Sierra Leone, could not have closure on all the heinous crimes that were committed in Liberia. So I think it's a first step, but comparing that to President Boakai not even completing his cabinet appointments and all of that, I think that is highly unacceptable. I remember at the same time when Weah came to power, I watched the news from Nigeria because at the time he came to power, there was a new president too at the time in Nigeria, and their journalists were after them that look, A football player in Liberia who just took over has already named all his cabinet, whereas in Nigeria we are still struggling. The president is still, how many months is still struggling on naming his cabinet. So I mean, we are could do it. Who has never been in government, I don't see how JMB, who has been serving in government all these years up to now, more than 100 days, he still can't get his cabinet positions filled. A young man in Sierra Leone fired, who was the only experience he had in government was a tax collector, something. He won elections there, and already he's gone way beyond JMB, and he's less than a month. I mean, it's unacceptable, and I'm disappointed that JMB, with his vast experience in government, in public service, up to this point, we still don't have cabinet positions still filled out. He's still submitting and canceling names and withdrawing names. Is concerning to me.
Okay, so most especially as it relates to the issue of the War and Economic Crimes Code, I would say being his first and foremost priority. I don't know if that was an agreement signed that could help him or that led him to ascending to the presidency. Uh, but do you think this is the rest step first in your first 4 months of presidency in the country? Noting, I mean, for the fact that there are a lot of citizens crying for. In the first place, he said within the first 100 days in his administration, there won't be a vehicle stuck in the mud. A lot of things was going to be done in his first 100 days. There's a possibility that a lot was done, whether positively or negatively, but there's a possibility that a lot was done I mean, has been done in his first 100 days. But now looking at the country, at where he met this nation, and from his campaign team, rescue, how, what is the possibility of signing the resolution of establishing the War and Economic Crimes Code? What is the significance to that of the citizens' plight of wanting change in the country?
The answer to that question is very simple, and I will be very succinct about that. Is I would describe that as a misplaced priority. Okay, it's just complete misplaced priorities, because the economic and war crime code. There's no like set time that you can sign that into law, make it an issue. I mean, at this point, I still applaud that effort, but it's a misplaced priority. I think the needs of the Liberian people right now is not the War Crime and Economic Court. The needs of the people right now is controlling inflation, controlling price of petroleum product, because the price of petroleum product gives rise to every other thing happening in the country. And it's not just Liberia. Any country around the world, petroleum product control the price of every other commodity on the market, including Lebanese people who have had goods sitting in their stores for months. By the time gas price goes up, they're going to change all the price in those goods that they brought in the country for all these years, because every businessman just used the gas price as an alibi to, to jack up prices. I mean, so the first thing I saw the papers, I saw all the reportings on the gas price, and those should be priority issue. And like I tell people, I don't like taking people to dictionary and giving dictionary meaning to words, because sometimes it robs us of the meanings of those words. So I love simple layman definition of words. And priority means what matters to you most. What matters to you most. And I don't think, given the national life of Liberia, I don't think the War and Economic Crime Court matter most to the people right now. I think what matters most right now are those issues on bordering on petroleum products that would definitely inadvertently affect the prices of every other commodity. Those are the things that matter most. National reconciliation, the election was a very close call. What just within the margin of error, just few votes separated Weah and Bouaka. And so we needed national reconciliation. There are things happening. I see there's protests going on again in Bay Mountain. I don't think that problem has been properly
Yeah.
addressed.
We're going to talk about the issue of Bay Mountain later on because that's our second topic
Yes.
for the show. But this issue that you just mentioned, that the issue of the president prioritizing the signing of the resolution for the establishment of war and economic crimes.
It's a misplaced priority.
It's a misplaced priority.
Yes.
What advice can someone give the president and those of the members of the national legislature for maybe reflecting their decision as to saying, hey, there are more things we need to do for our country, for our citizens, than the issue of the war and economic crimes. Though it is also important, but I think we need to put heart to it at first and then see how best we can get to the bread and butter issues of our people before we can get to the issue of war and economic crimes code.
No, I wouldn't support, I wouldn't advise the halting of the war crime code. No, things can happen simultaneously. I mean, we talk about multitasking. So those things can go on simultaneously. You can have the war crimes code going on and you have controlling of price of commodity on the Liberian market. You can have them going on simultaneously. The problem is the commerce minister has already been commissioned. He was commissioned long time with other ministers, the finance minister. So those people are already, they have full responsibilities to operate. So they have to be able to control these things. So yeah, halting the war crime code doesn't change anything. They just have to be proactive to put the effort behind these things, because the platform that came on rescue, when you talk about rescue, it talks about urgency. You can't talk about rescue dragging your feet. If you go into rescue, you gotta, it has to be urgent. And I tell people, when I'm teaching leadership classes, I talk about these three words, and I've taught that to my church many times. We talk about what is necessary, what is important, and what is urgent. And I think the JMB administration needs to understand how to arrange those words. And usually I put them in the 4 quadrant, okay? And I put, because there are some things that are very necessary, but might not be urgent and might not be important at the time. The war crime code is very necessary, but it's urgent right now. It's not, in my mind, it's not very urgent right now. So we need to identify those urgent, important, and necessary items, which we can put in our last quadrant, and be able to attack those issues. So like you said, the bread and butter issue of the Liberian people, those are urgent things that we need to address. Stopping motorbikes from plying major streets, yeah, those are necessary. But the question is, are they urgent? So, but the JMB administration got to find their way around those 3 words. What is necessary, what is important, and what is urgent? It might be important, but it's urgent. It might be necessary, but it's urgent. So we got to find what is urgent, what is important, what is necessary, and we got to fix those 3 together. And I don't think the JMB administration had even got a clue of those things. They just got everything mixed up, trying to do everything at the same time.
You're telling us that urgency matters as well in this whole rescue situation.
That's the whole thing about rescue. When you talk about rescue, you talk about emergency, you talk about urgency. Nobody. You're not going to have an emergency if there's no urgency. Emergency is accompanied with urgency, something that, it's an emergency. It needs urgent approach. That means it is important, it is necessary, and it is urgent. So we have to attach that urgency to it.
Okay. He is S.T. Salif, one of our panelists who we normally have on our show here, the Talking Points. This program comes to you every day, and I don't know if you try monitoring the program this evening or this afternoon at your end. Well, we begin the program today with a 30-minute news presentation, and we kind of interested in continuing the program
Yeah,
with
that's
the
good.
30 minutes news presentation. I hope you guys going to follow.
It's very good. We used to follow. Yep.
Okay, now we still on the president signing of the executive order for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. Forgetting about what are termed as bread and butter issues, like the prices of commodities on the market, the skyrocketing of the price of petroleum product, school fees going on, the very increase, and a lot more issues that we need to discuss. In fact, as a matter of fact, we are. When I say we, I mean this radio station place is currently running on generator when we should be running on the electricity. Okay, which I think it's obvious that every nation should have a stable electricity, even if it is not for the whole year, but at least for about half of the year or maybe 10 to 11 months. Now, all of these things are in the making. Liberians are expecting more from the government of President Joseph Waka and Jeremiah Cohn because they made the people of Liberia to understand that they are coming to rescue Liberia from the leadership of former President George Weah, who they think was not proceeding correctly. Now, now that they have ascended at the presidency, respectively, people now are kind of, dissatisfied, disappointment is all around the place because they expected, they expected the president or the government to first prioritize that world is spelled in bold letters, all capitalized and underlined, rescue. I don't know how you're going to reconcile rescuing the country and establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court. I just want you to make us, well, I mean us, I mean those who are listening to understand the importance of rescuing this nation from where it is to where Liberians want it to be, and that of establishing the War and Economic Crimes Court.
Again, like I said, the JMB administration, they are experiencing serious missed priorities. They just everything is mixed up right now. The first thing they should have done was to sit down and brainstorm. I mean, again, I would say it every opportunity I get. Every political party is a government in waiting. Every political party is a
Every
government.
opposition political party.
Whether opposition or not, once you are a political party and you have been approved by NEC, you are also a government in waiting. If they vote you in, that's it. So people should have already brainstormed to set a priority. Like, listen, when we go in, this is what we want to do. But also, from the date that the incumbent president calls and concedes the election, effectively your administration has already started. So you should have got to work, identify those hot button issues, identify those priority issues that you want to tackle. And the JMB administration up to now, that's why they're still lagging. They are completely lagging because more than 100 days, you still have not filled up your cabinet positions and all of that. They're lagging. Their priority is mixed up. That is why they are thinking instituting the War and Economic Crime Court as this time is the thing. Yeah, it can be a thing to please the powers that be, the world powers like the United States and other people that are heavily invested in Liberia. But how does that translate to the well-being of the ordinary Liberians, going about their daily activities, getting food on the table, getting children in school, and security, and creating jobs, and improving livelihood. How has the War and Economic Crime Code improved any of that? So I think, in the first place, their 100 days deliverable was over ambitious to me. I
Yeah,
knew it was not achievable. It was never
yeah.
going to be achieved. And I don't even think they were able to achieve 5% of their 100 days deliverable. I don't think they achieved that. So it was just over ambitious. They were just too broad. They should have been specific and targeted specific things that they should have done in 100 days. Even if they had said just one thing, we want to make sure we control the price of commodity on the market. That would have been something that might have been achievable. But as far as I'm concerned, the 100 days deliverable was a failure, because it was just, they were not properly articulated. It was too broad. The scope was just too broad, and it was over ambitious. There's no way they could accomplish that. And up to now, they have not been able to put their vision into priorities. They have to put these things into priorities. What are the things that matters to the Liberian people most at this time? And if you go on the street, no Liberian on the street will tell you, "Yay, the World Crime Code is what matters to me most at this time." No, when the people can feed, when the people can do, for themselves. I mean, I think the War Crime Code is just something, for me, it's just a window dressing to just show that, to the international community, we're doing something while your people at home are suffering.
Okay.
Who are you trying to...
I want
Okay,
to
so
say,
I'm going to welcome Mr. Jero in shortly. He's the actual host of this program. But I just want to get this from you. Are you in disagreement that the War Crime Code is not of a priority to the Liberian people than the bread and butter issues, which has to do with their campaign team rescuing the country?
Again, like I said, around those three words, the War and Economic Crime Code is necessary, but it's not urgent. It's not urgent. It's not urgent the way they are pursuing it. You're doing War and Economic Crimes Code when people can't even pay their way to go to work. I mean, control the gas price. That is urgent, because everything in Liberia hinges on the price of petroleum product. If petroleum product go up 1%, commodities, price of commodity go up 20, 50 to 60%. Everybody gives excuse, gas price high. Everybody start to jack up prices. Those are the things, the price of rice, the price of, those necessary commodities, those are urgent issues. How people get their children in school, how people pay their house rent, health, security. You got police people bringing criminals, to take position, people who were suspended, bringing them back. Those are, as far as I'm concerned, the War Crime Economic Crime Code is just a low-hanging fruit to please the international community. That has got nothing, it's not going to translate into any economic benefit for the ordinary Liberian man. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a misplaced priority. It should not be given the level of priority that is given above other social things happening in the country. It's a good thing. I'm not against it, but it's not a priority.
Okay. Prior to this program coming on air, we experienced some internet connectivity problem. And so we were presenting the 30 minutes news, which was unable to be live on Blaze Radio and television, as well as YouTube and other streaming channels. But when I informed the CEO and the presenter of this program, The Talking Point, he celebrated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome him. Welcome to the program, Mr. Jero.
First of all, thank you very much, my brother. And it was a good thing that we came out. Our first news is up, and I can guarantee you, beginning tomorrow, or everywhere around the world, will be able to be on our online radio. I've already.
I was just about to ask that if you have.
It's on right now. I'm testing it while we are broadcasting. I'm testing it right now, and when I see the productivity, I'll work on it, shine it up, work it up, and then we'll install it on the computer in the studio, and we begin our broadcast. And everywhere it's a 24-hour, 24-hour broadcast. So we also got a 24-hour online broadcast, which will be good. It's already on the Blaze TV, Blaze Radio TV page. And if the testing I'm doing goes well, that means you can go to Blaze TV or Blaze Radio Facebook page and listen live. You don't need to go to the video if you don't have the time. You can even put the earphone, put on the phone, and put in your ear and listen. And it will be installed on our website between today and tomorrow morning. And if you want to listen, you just go to our website, click on it, and you start to listen. So it's going to be, it's already done. I already installed it on my computer, and I'm testing it tonight. So that's the good news for now. And Anthony, I'm happy that the news went today. The news, I mean, this is the first day of the news, and I think Patrick and I gave 2 different grades. Patrick gave 2%.
Did he listen?
He listened from start to finish. And I listened to the little piece of it. I gave 86%. Probably I didn't start from the beginning, so my grades is very little bit. So we are glad we started, and we are glad we're going to continue. It was a hard work. Patrick told me that you guys had to go do all kinds of things to get the news to come on today by all costs, so I'm glad that but hey, to be able to contribute to this topic, I mean, I want to play the devil's advocate. Let me see how you can convince Liberians who believe in what I'm going to say. So we say rescue. To rescue people also include justice. To instill justice. And Liberians have been crying and crying and crying. When George Weah took over, there were many protest action that called for the establishment of the War Crime Court. It was one of the, I think, 13 or so, 15 talking points of the Council of Patriarchs with conjunction with Unity Party asking for War Crime Court. Joseph Boakai has promised War Crime Court. I don't know how is Joseph Boakai going to escape condemnation if he had not started with War Crime Court, because that's his promise. He said, I will bring justice. Justice is also rescuing people who were justice. Now they have justice. And you guys are saying it is not good for the country. So what is justice?
No. Nobody said it's not good for the country. We said it's good for the country, but it's not a priority. Joseph Boakai has 6 years to be in office. So the War Crime Court can start in the middle of the year, can start towards the end of this year. He has time to do it. The hot button issues are the economic life of the people. So the War Crime Court is welcome. We accept that. We are happy that is going on. But the question is,
be distracted. I want to ask you the question. Why if Joseph Boakai does not want to be distracted?
Distracted on what?
We want to start now so that when he's done with this one, he focus on other things. But if you want a man to go to the middle of the 1 year from now, 2 years from now, and so many problems come and choke on his administration, and then he say, okay, you know what? These are too many problems. War Crime Court is not important. It could be the possibility. I want you guys to convince us, we who believe in the Joseph Boakai doctrine, I want you to convince us why War Crime Court will not be necessary now. Because
no. We're not saying it's not necessary. We're saying it is necessary, but it's not urgent. It is necessary. It is important, but it's not urgent. So those 3 words that I gave, we have to know how to, when we're talking about priority issues, we have to be able to fix those things. Okay, my children are hungry. My children are hungry. They are dying. They don't have school fees. They're not in school. And I say, you know what? I think we need television in this house. The television is important for entertainment. The television is important, but it cannot be urgent when it comes to paying the house rent, when it comes to putting food in the home and getting the children in school. The television will be appreciated. That's why we're saying we appreciate the War Crime Court. We appreciate the effort, but the same energy that he threw behind the War Crime Court to get it to this point, he could have also put that behind other bread and butter issues in Liberia. And everything can be going on simultaneously. We can be doing the war crime code, we can be doing price control, we can be doing infrastructure development, we can be appointing, completing the fulfillment of, getting cabinet minister. We can do everything simultaneously, but we cannot sacrifice the economic life of the country for war crime code. That's why we're saying the war crime code is important, it's necessary, but it's not urgent. There are other more urgent needs in Liberia than the war crime code.
Okay, so
you are muted, Mr. Jero. You're muted.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that we have two topics under discussion tonight. This is the first one. The next topic, we're going to be introducing it at 9:35, because at 9:20 we'll be taking calls on this discussion. We're going to hear the views of Liberians as to how they feel about the president signing the executive order number 131 for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. Then the next topic is this. Now let me read it. We'll get to it later on. Underground mine workers at the B Mountain Mining Company today staged a strike action demanding for permanent employment with the company. Underground mine workers at the B Mountain Mining Company today staged a strike action demanding for permanent employment with the company. According to information, some of them have worked for the company for more than a year. They are not being employed. We'll be getting to that, and we'll be giving you the details later on the program. Okay. But for now, we'll run up until 9:20, which is already the time. I hope you're observing your time as well. We're going to take the views of the callers, those who are contributing to.
So let's give 5 more minutes, because I need the public to make, when they are calling, we want to make sure that they are calling, they know what they are calling about. The argument of my own brother Salif here says war crime code is important, but he thought that it is not as urgent as the bread and butter issue. You also maintain the same position. My concern is, if you make promises and say, I will institute war crime code, I will bring food on your table, I will do this, I will build your roads. There's a saying that you can chew gum and walk at the same time. Why Joseph Boakai should be one of the only person who cannot chew and walk? He can institute the war crime code at the same time and take care of them at the same time. So I don't see how it is. First of all, Liberians, majority of the, not majority, but I think he won. Those who supported his agenda, ST, they are in the majority. That's why he won. He promised that I will bring you war crime code. It was on the basis of that they voted for him. It was on the basis of that they decided, they said they don't want Josh Weah. Okay, so that's the radio I'm testing, is on our Facebook page. So I think we are good here. I know that it works, so I'm going to stop it, and then we'll put it on our computer in there. So, ST, look, I don't know how you people would take it anyway. I don't know how you're going to do it anyway, but I believe that even if I personally believe that the war crime code wasn't necessary from the beginning. I also believe that the Liberian people opted for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in a way of reconciling the country. But that Reconciliation Commission did not finish its work. In other words, they finished their work, they made a recommendation. The recommendation was supposed to be ratified by the House of Representatives and the Senate and sent to the president for signature, and it becomes a law that we can act on. Today, it didn't happen. Ellen frustrated the whole process. The reconciliation part took place, but the prosecution part did not take place. So Joe and B have been supporting protest upon protest to start a war crime court. Now he's starting the war crime code, and then we come back and say, hey, it's not urgent. So, I mean, I thought the man has the prerogative to determine what is his country's, his administration priority. ST, tell me, are you now going to tell JMB what should be his priority?
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at the priority. JMB's administration has the arrest agenda, and we know what the arrest is, an acronym for agriculture. For agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. So why is the war crime code the most important thing in this arrest? Why is agriculture not important? Why is road not important? Why
because he said the first 100 days roads will be.
Why is education not important? Why is sanitation not important? Why is tourism not important? That's what I'm saying. So it's a misplaced priority. These things can happen simultaneously, but the weight that he has thrown behind this war crime code is like, that's the only thing he had to do. You can do all these things at the same time: the agriculture, the roads, the rule of law, the education, the sanitation, the tourism. You can work on these things simultaneously on different fronts. We can multitask on these things. But it's like everything now is his whole priority is the arrest. It's not just rule of law, which is just one aspect. And the rule of law cannot only be war crime code. We got police people shooting people there in Liberia. We got police people doing crazy things. We got all kinds of crazy things happening in the country. So the rule of law cannot only be the war crime code. That's why we say you have to make sure you consolidate your effort at home before you can show that good image abroad. When you go to Liberia on the streets, do you think, Mr. Jiro, if you went to Liberia, you took microphone on the street, and you interview the first 5 people, do you think they will tell you their urgent issue is the war crime code?
So I'm just going to hold you right there. Because that is what we've planned, most especially the program department of Blaze Radio. We will be anticipating the views of citizens from across all of the counties, and we hope that the management or the CEO will support that, because we want to hear from every county as to how they feel about the president signing the executive order to establish the War and Economic Crimes Code. And you're going to hear it right here on Blaze Radio.
That's a good one. I like that, and I want to participate in that too. I want to hear from across the country how people think about the War Crime Code. But let's see what the people think about it. For those of you who are watching us, we want to go to the radio and listen to our audience on the ground and see what do they think about the war crime code. Is it necessary now, or is it not necessary? If it is not necessary now, why is not necessary now? I mean, after years of advocating for war crime code, that JMB want to make good his promises. He said, "Look, I promise it, and I have to do that." And
but he promised education too.
And ST, they have ganged up against me here today.
He promised, Mr. Jiro, he promised education.
They have ganged up against me, and I'm advocating for JMB right now.
Yes, JMB promised war crime code, and JMB also promised education. JMB also promised road. JMB also promised agriculture. JMB also promised sanitation.
We understand that. But here's what we want to do. Here's what we want to do from the JMB camp. We want to make sure Prince Johnson does not go up with impunity. Thomas Yaya does not go with impunity. George Bush does not go with impunity. Zaza does not go with, how do you call it? Other Zaza from who was in it. We don't want to go. Roland Doe does not go with impunity. Adolfo Dolo does not go with impunity. We want to make sure that these people are punished if they commit a crime. We want to make sure all these people who fought the war, these generals, these people kill people for no reason. These people beheaded people. They disemboweled pregnant women. We want to make sure that they get punished. And that's what JMB is fighting for. And you guys are here and telling us that JMB is too early. ST.
No. We are saying the War and Economic Crimes Code is necessary. It is important, but it's not urgent. There are more pertinent issues that we got to think. We don't want to go to bed hungry while we're doing economic crime code. We don't want our children sitting at home not going to school while we do economic crime code. We don't want our things thrown out by the landlord because we can't pay rent. Oh, the question, I'm not going to my landlord and say, but wait a minute, you can see we're doing work crime code. Why are you talking about rent business? We don't want to do that. So we want all these things to go on simultaneously.
But maybe if you told the landlord, ST, maybe if you told the landlord and say, look, let me tell you something, sir, even though I don't have my money to pay my rent today, but JMB is going to punish the person who killed your auntie the other time when your auntie committed no crime. That landlord will listen to you.
Yes, right.
Let's see.
Okay, let's go to the line here. 0776.
Let me speak this in the typical colloquial. Brabi, la level you giving a wrong. I mean, the plan level that you giving.
Okay, if I'm wrong, let's go to the line. 0776 376 869. 0776 376 869. Put your calls through. And my man Anthony is in studio in Monrovia.
And so to amplify his voice about the numbers, or the number is 0776 376 869, 0776 3768 69, 0776 3768 69 is the number to call, and you are going to be live on the program.
Tell us.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to the line immediately to talk to this caller. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm fine. What's your name and where you call from?
I'm Sylvester people calling from the Rafi Highway.
Are you guys getting Sylvester?
I'm clear with you people. I'm listening to the conversation.
I know Sylvester. I'm talking about my panelists. Are you guys getting Sylvester?
Oh, yeah, he's very loud and clear.
No.
Okay, Sylvester, go ahead.
He's very loud and clear.
Yes, about the issue you people raise up.
Yeah.
I think we, the Liberians, should be able to understand the government. We were the same people saying that the government promises a lot or gave us a lot of promises, and today he is trying to fulfill his promises, and we are there complaining that it is too early, most especially concerning the war in economic crime court.
Yeah.
So we should be able to give the government a chance to run his decision that he decides. Because more especially when it comes to the war in economic crime court, it is one of the major things that he scratched on doing his campaign article or message.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what he's working on now. So we need to give the government a chance to work on that.
Okay.
Thank you for my point.
Thank you so much. This caller. Hello, what's your name and where you call from?
Hello?
Hello, welcome. What is your name and where have you called from?
My name is Frankie calling from Jacobtown Rehab.
You call from Jacobtown Rehab. Okay, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the topic of discussion and thank the panelists.
Okay.
But I think the panelists in error. If I would say that.
Wait. Hello.
No, let him go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Let him go
So
ahead.
the panelists in error.
Yeah, he will give you the reason.
Saying that the worker code is much more important at this time. Yes, we need worker code.
Okay.
But when you tell the layman on there, that's the whole 3 days. Oh, Jamaica with the code ready. I can go see now. In case the judge in the town, let's give the town is finished. And so many people have made it before the organization and let's do that case. That case not this thing. There are so many things you have attack. You're going to do, but attack so many things. Your education, your rule setter, your building, even agriculture to add it. Attack the thing fresh and see improvement. It will come with the worker code. That's what we do when we worker code. We are listen to the routine at the time. It was soon one thing. That's really to discuss what I do. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. 0776 3768 69. 0776 3768 69. There will come a time we will not even announce the number. You will start calling because that's a regular stuff in Liberia. So you have to get used to it. So let's talk to this caller. What's your name and where have you called from?
Good evening, how you doing? I'm Badla Kamaraska from this state to be precise, the second tower at Rehab.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I call to contribute towards the dissatisfaction of the panelists towards the
No. No member of the panelists here tonight is dissatisfied. They are just giving that view as it relates to the topic under discussion. So go ahead.
I think the topic under discussion is most precise about timing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. What the question here is that no one knows the kind of for the dispensation of justice. You talk about the economic crime code and war crime code for now.
Yeah.
If you look at Liberia holistically, we have been depending on foreign donors to take this country forward since time immemorial.
Mm-hmm.
Liberia have not had their own budget to allocate for all the sectors that is under demand right now. Now, the question comes, with all the hooligans and other guys in government that have committed mayhem and atrocity in this country, can foreign investors entrust this government while the people are in the system with their money? That's the question for one of your panelists. One, who think that it's not necessary for now?
Okay.
Now, can we receive donors while we get the people in the system? Let's say, for example, one of the highest donors to Margibi County, the United States government, raised an issue indicting Mangue as a war criminal economically, and such a person serving as a senator in the government. Can the United States support the project in Margibi County? When it comes to wherein he will preside on the legislative caucus? I mean, we shouldn't be joking with development in this country. That is the best thing Baka doing. If Baka will succeed, that's the first step right there. To tell foreign government that we can now send money to this country, we get more criminal out of this system right now. I think the war crime code is better for now.
Thank you. 0776 37 68 69 is the number, and you can do the same as he just did. But one thing I want to know is that I want to let you to know, because I know you're listening to the program, before the panelists come in. Even though he was being indicted by the American government, but you people in Margibi County still see the need to elect him as the senator of the. Okay, that is another discussion for another time. But let's focus on your cause. Let's hear you before the panelists come in, because they kind of jogging down your points, your questions as you ask. 0776 37 68 69 37 68 69 and 0776. These are the numbers you are to call, and you're going to be live on the program. While we are anticipating your calls, when the call comes, we're going to pick it up. But let's hear from our panelists.
Absolutely. I'm going to come in. I think the last caller did agree with me. I mean, the dispensation of justice has no limit. The dispensation of justice has no tenure. And the caller put it rightly. Now we wanted Joseph Boakai to bring war and economic crime courts. In fact, he participated in several protests and demonstrations. He supported them. He didn't go in the street because he's an old man, but he supported them. He probably gave them a vase. And at the time, he said he was broke like a church house rat, so we didn't think he gave money. But that's okay. He gave them the moral support. And he promised, I will punish.
So you want me to hold you there? Let's welcome this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Preston from Maria.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Away from your radio.
You really have to move away from your radio to have the conversation very unique.
Yes, the on this program. Come to right now. All that thing and I will go acting will be the about the work and together. I was trying one.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. G.
So I mean, and look, I believe that Liberian people become apathetic when that they want. First of all, Liberians usually have one different things. ST, we know Liberian. You got a call on the line?
Yeah, I have a caller.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Fanning K. Moore calling from Mount Bagley.
You call from Mount Bagley, District number 1, Montserrat County. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm very happy for President Boakai to sign war and economic crime in Liberia.
By this time,
during the campaign time, we were the same people that were happy campaigning around. Joseph Boakai coming to Joseph Boakai will do it for all. At least it will be okay because lawmakers in the legislature, they can come around and say, oh, no money yet, money not yet. So we will be happy for people to tell us that, yes, money not there. Because the billion, $5 billion around, they say no money in government, but we can see them sending money to people abroad the country. So let's see how the war and economic crime will be.
Okay,
look, and Amos, and Anthony, let me just share something.
I'm just overblown happy with it.
All right, thank you. This next caller. Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're calling from my back.
Okay, let's hear you.
You know, one thing I was saying today is that, like, when at least, even Diwali and all people to be celebrating for the work on that today.
You say Labrain should be celebrating?
Everybody has to be celebrating because if the structure that were in the country and that everything, the country, everything. So we need to prosecute them, everything. So now we try to be happy today for the work to be sound.
Okay.
All right. So before we go back to the line, I want you to hold the line a little bit. ST, this is one of the people who have been an anti-war crime court individual, Senator Prince Johnson of Nema County. But recently he signed the resolution that is expected to engender the creation of a war and economic crime court. This is what Prince Johnson said. Let's listen to him, and then we can continue our discussion and take our course.
Yala Thomas, who is the senator,
I'm not getting it from
was the Secretary General,
I'm not getting any sound.
chosen by the group, and he drafted a resolution that we prepared and told the Council of Churches and the Labor that we, after peace.
You say you're not getting it from your end?
No. I'm not getting any sound from my end.
You're not getting it.
I'm not even seeing any
Why?
video.
Why is that?
I told you the internet has
You're not
some
seeing
problem.
video?
No, I'm not seeing anything.
He said he's not seeing video, he's not seeing sound. I think people have already heard Prince Johnson's statement in the country, so we can just continue with the discussion.
Okay, I don't know why you're not seeing anything but the radio station on. You can hear us very well.
Very well. The radio station is on, and I'm getting the videos, all of the videos, but I'm not getting any internet on my phone. You know, I'm not seeing the video. I don't know how magical is that.
Well, your internet is very good because you're not buffering at all, right, ST?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know how possible is that, but we're going to lay that to rest. But let's see if we can take some more call.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make before you take a call is this: Prince Johnson, who was a proponent of the anti-movement against the war crime code because of reasons he believed, he has expressed in that video that one, he was a spokesman of various warlords, that he should speak for them, that war crime code was not good for the country, that Liberian people wanted reconciliation, and they went to Ghana and came back with reconciliation. But he has signed the war and economic crime code resolution, ST. He has signed it.
Okay.
So if he has signed it and Thomas Yaya signed it,
let me hold you.
Why are we arguing? Let's move on with it.
Let's talk to this caller. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Welcome. What is your name and where have you called from?
This is Butler Kamala from Rehab.
Let's hear you.
Concerning the Prince Johnson issue, I don't want for Liberians or other people to think that the war crime is surrounding Prince Johnson. If you retrospect, Prince Johnson fought Liberia war for only 18 months.
For 9 months,
people
9 months, yes. Other people fought the war for 27 years, they are not making
No, the war did not go 27 years, 14 years.
14 years, did you make noise?
Yeah. Hello?
And therefore, all of those guys here, they are not talking. Because they know for everything you do during the war, being 8 available or soldiers must be an account for it after the war.
Mm-hmm.
Unless where the people in that country decide to just see people in like another war. That's the fear of other people. But today, look around the world. You see Rwanda, Angola, the whole world want to go to school. They're free.
Yeah.
The Genesa, the Hutu and the Tutsi, nothing was done. unless for Kataki and Dubo massacre. So I think let us give Boka the chance to see our best. You know, anything that is going to be good from the beginning, you see it'll be a problem. But as time goes back, Labrambo will sit and say, yeah, I think this was better. I said in the first quarter, no one donor going to send money here that war criminals in government. The first thing I will single to them, we are not serious people. You kill my mom, you kill my pa, I say make you president. Then what about the good leadership I want for you?
So if I may
so
ask you,
be very genuine and real with each other.
So if I may ask you, from 2003 to 2023, that's exactly 20 years. And we've added 2024, probably by August, it will be 21 years since the war ended in Liberia. We've been having presidents, we've been having leadership, and we have investors investing into this country. Do you think the War and Economic Crimes Court establishment, and if it is possible, funding those who committed heinous crime during the 14 years of Liberia Civil War and putting them behind bars will help Liberia move forward by bringing in more investors or other institutions as well?
The first thing I would say yes, and I will make reference to the president.
You will have to be very brief because we got other callers on the line as well.
But I told everybody in the country and the world alike that will appoint. I heard you saying that Boka appointment has not been completed.
Yeah.
And Boka said I will be appointing official government based on human rights record, experience, and what you have done in the past.
There is no possibility of what you're saying.
Pardon me?
There is no possibility of what you are saying. There's
you are saying that Boka is delaying for appointment. Yeah, I mean, you are not completed his cabinet about now. And you made reference to Nigeria as well as Georgia. You did the reference that Georgia the Nigerian government. And yesterday Nigeria moved up fast. So that was not different from Liberia. It's not about how long Boka appointed, but how well he governed the state.
Okay, let's take other callers. I think you made a very great point.
Thank you so much. We're gonna be talking as the call comes in, and I'll kind of.
So ST, I want you to respond to the guy question. Yeah. He is trying to debunk the argument that people say there will be no investors, there will be no encouragement of investment if war crime code is causing chaos in this country. And I want to extend that comment a little bit and hear from you. When the war crime code starts and chaos develop and everybody going helter skelter and the insecurity is glaring, is it possible that investors look at the climate and say, well, we are still going to invest? Is it possible?
No sound investor will invest his money in a place of chaos. Nobody would do that. But you see, while we are saying, I'm looking at, the war crime code is a necessary thing that has to happen. It's important, but it's not urgent because, watch this. Let me give you this report real quick. This war crime code right now is budgeted just to jumpstart this war crime code. That's about $200 million that has been budgeted. This money.
Put in the chat room because we want to get access to that document. That's a very important document.
Yeah, I'm coming. So it's going to be, I will send a link. It's going to take about, just to jumpstart it, looking at $200 million. The Sierra Leone war crime code that took place, they spent in its entire lifetime, from beginning to end of the Sierra Leone, they spent $300 million and they employ 400 people. Now, this money is going to come from donors. And just the budget at $200 million now, just for the Liberia. That's just the start. It will be adjusted as time goes along. Now, JMB, as the rescue mission, are you telling me we cannot also go around to those same partners to raise even 100 million, 150 million to inject into the economy, to stimulate the economy, so that things are going on while we do the war crime code? We can do all these things simultaneously. We already budget 200 million just for this. War Crime Court. It's a good thing. It's a necessary thing. It's an important thing. The question is it urgent compared to the economic life of our people? So I will send a link in the chat. It's very urgent. It is good. I want it to happen. But the War Crime Court should not be happening at the expense of the Liberian people. While the people are sleeping hungry, while gas price is going to the roof, while commodity price.
I don't get it. I mean, I'd like to call you off from here. I don't get it. Where is at the expense of the Liberian people? The Liberian people themselves want the War Crime Court.
They want it, but they also want to send their children to school. They want the War Crime Court, but they also want to be able to buy food.
But they are not going in the street, ST. I have not seen Liberians going in the street and say, we want to buy food for our children, we don't have food. They didn't demonstrate for anything like that. They went in the street and said, we want War Crime Court. We want War Crime Court. Even though they were hungry, even though they didn't leave food at home, even though their children did not go to school, even though they were unable to pay their school fee, they were shouting, we want War Crime Court. We want War Crime Court. So why are we now telling them that they're not ready?
No. We're not saying they're not ready. We are saying the administration can do two things at the same time. We can do that simultaneously. We can be fixing our ailing economy while we still push for the War Crime Court. That's all I'm saying. We can do the two simultaneously. Let them happen side by side. War Crime Court's going on. The economy is being stimulated. That's all I'm trying to say. We can do the two things at the same time. Let me get you that link.
Okay, guys, if you are listening to us, this is the Talking Point on Bliss Radio 90.7. I'm all the way here in North Dakota, the United States. ST is here with me in North Dakota, and our man Anthony is in Monrovia in studio there managing our audio and our video.
Okay. So we have a caller. Hello?
Mr. Phillips?
Welcome. What is your name?
Thank you. This is Pastor Davis from District 6.
I knew you were going to call tonight because this program is this segment of the program is very important for your contribution. Let's hear you.
Of course. Before I go into my point, let me acknowledge that Bliss Evans is taking over.
You say Bliss Evans is doing what?
It's taking over gradually.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it's taking over gradually. I want to say thanks. So let me say this, Mr. Philip. There are major and minor priorities. People must be very honest and must be very specific as to what they have to do, especially as a government. You can have mixed priorities, and then it confuses everybody. The first thing, the rule leading to the president endorsement of the War Crime Court. You were there when we all saw Ali West at the Senate. And that was when the senator signed this War Crime Court. Today, Mr. Boyka is leaving the country tomorrow. He has to sign or endorse what the legislature has signed. Is somebody ready using that TR to see? Are we ready thinking above what we just look at on the surface? Is the government tied down to America? Somebody says, so hinking fool. We want to please our international partner, precisely the USA. Are we honest of wanting to establish a War Crime Court? The legislature signed this ever since almost barely 2 weeks. Why Mr. Boyka didn't endorse when the legislature signed only a day to his departure to the U.S., and then you have to sign or endorse. Look, are we thinking, Philip? Somebody say, is it what we want now? And I would say no to that person. Look, you here living with us, the rest of the panel is in the U.S. Is this what the Liberian people are asking for now? Anthony, when Becquerel is being sold for $3,600, when a Dallas car is being sold for $230 Liberian, when a cup of rice now under Mr. Boyka is almost $70. Is it the War Crime Court that are going to build the rules from River G to Grand Jide? Is it a war crime code that's going to connect River Sets to Basso? Is it a war crime code that have had teen prices high on the country? Is it the war crime code that have had people being very corrupt in the system? Is it the war crime code that is stalling development in the country? We need to ask these questions. Or is it intended to please our partner? We got to know what we want. Gee, this whole thing about war, okay, they agree that the war contract has been established or been agreed to be established. How is it going to help? Like somebody say when the war crime comes, company will win. You must be killing me. Liberal partners has been a miracle over the years. Since 1847, we have had a miracle as our partner. Everything in Liberia is a borrowed property of miracle. Our flag is almost the American flag. Our constitution was written after the American Constitution. Our governance system is almost like the American governance system. The only difference for them is 4 years, for us 6 years. What have we been able to boast of in terms of development? Do we need war crime code before America said we'll give you $2 billion to build a road from here to Grand Jide or to connect the Southeast, to build roads in Nimba, to build hospitals across the country? Do we need the establishment of the war crime code? We need to ask this question. Somebody is asking the question. Is it the war crime code that must be built first? Is it the economic crime code that must be built first? If somebody corrupts or corrupts the system or is prone of corruption in Liberia, is it a war crime code that must be built first before that person is prosecuted? Is it a war crime code that must be built if, for example, Grisby, who is the chief officer in the office of the president, is being alleged of corruption? Do we need the economic crime code first before Grisby is prosecuted? Do we need the economic crime code first before Mr. Bwaka is going after people who quote unquote stole government assets and property? We got to be, Billy, let me say this. Ignorance of our people is a serious problem. Before I close, let me tell you what one guy said. There was a guy who came to Africa. He came to Liberia called Henry Morton. I want you to read about him. Stanley Henry Morton. He described Africa as a dark continent. You know why he described Africa as a dark continent? Not because Africa didn't have light. No. It was because the mind of the people of Africa was black. They didn't see themselves as people. They always felt inferior to the Americans. They always felt inferior to the white guys. And because of that, they were being suppressed. So he said Africa is a black continent. He said the way the people think in Africa, they always think below themselves. So we need war crime code before we move on as a country. Georgia didn't establish war crime code. Okay. So mind you, we can count the development, Mr. Weir. Hearing early war as matter as Bwaka, more than Bwaka 100 times. Early did not sign the war crime code. Where is the man coming from? Where is the man coming from? Okay. Where is the man coming from? Tell your panel to answer the question. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys listen to him. Your mic is muted.
We will respond to that adequately because those of us who support Joseph Bwaka, we have to make our case to the Liberian people. It's unfortunate. Listen, Ellen did not establish a war crime code because she herself was a culprit or was a suspect. Okay. How will you establish a war crime code and they drag you into the court and put you in jail for years? Ellen would never have done that. Joshua did not establish a war crime code because he reneged on the promises of the CDC. The CDC paraded the streets of Monrovia countless of times, asking the Ellen Johnson government to establish a war crime code, that she was one of the killers, that she was one of the people who killed Liberians. And when they came into power, what did they do? They shoved the war crime code under the carpet. Now, when Joseph Bwaka promised, he came and said, I will do war crime code. Now he's doing war crime code. You want him to shove it under the carpet? Go to more cause.
I think
maybe you want to come in.
That is the wrong character. That's the wrong characterization of what we're advocating for. We're not advocating to sweep the war crime code under the carpet. We're not advocating that it should not be done. We are saying, yes, it has to be done. We want the war crime code. Thank you, Joseph Bwaka, for putting your signature on that paper today for the war crime code. Yes, we are excited, but we are saying that's not the only thing you promised. Your campaign promise is the arrest, is agriculture, is road, is rule of law, is education. is tourism and sanitation and tourism. Those are the arrests. So you can, and even with the not his arrest program did not specifically say war crime code. It says rule of law, and war crime code comes under rule of law. And there are so many other things happening in the country that are part of rule of law that we need to address. Police brutality against our people is part of rule of law. Patrice, what's the new police director name? People that who doing early administration were corrupt.
Patrick
Coleman is bringing the same criminals that were expelled from the police and bringing them back channel and putting them there. You can't say rule of law and these things are happening. We are not against war crime code. We are happy for the war crime code, but we are saying what happened to the entire arrest agenda? What happened to agriculture? Where are we on agriculture? Where are we on roads? Where are we on education? Where are we on sanitation? Where are we on tourism? All these things is only the war crime code that Joseph Boakai major on. The only reason he's putting his weight behind the war crime code is because it makes him look good to the international community while his people are sleeping hungry, while his people are sleeping insecure, while his people cannot send their children to school, while his people can't pay their house rent. So the war crime code, America will say, yes, that guy is doing good. But what happened to your people at home? It's the same thing our fathers did. When their children were not in school, they were paying rent for girlfriends. They were sending girlfriends, brother and brothers to school. It's the same thing. Why your people at home are dying, you're trying to be an angel there out in the street. That's all we're saying. Why you bring the war crime code, also bring up economic growth and development. That's all we're saying. The people should not be forgotten at the expense of the war crime code. So let's do everything simultaneously. That's all we're calling for.
Okay, folks, this is the Talking Point on Blaze Radio 90.7. We come to you every Monday to Saturday, and that's how important we are to you. And so tonight we are looking at two major issues. One, President Joseph Boakai signed Executive Order number 131 for the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Courts for Liberia. That's one. We've discussed a lot of that. We are about to switch to the next topic, which is a very important human interest story to me. And probably, if I do read, or maybe Mr. Jiro will read that, because I just posted that entire stuff in the Blaze chat room. He's going to read that for you for your listening pleasure. And then we're going to look at that. So this is what happened. In Grand Kitmon County, to be precise, Kinjo. If I mention the name Kinjo, whether you are in Liberia or overseas, hey, something going to run to your mind. And that's not something positive. I don't want to discuss that, but let me get to what I'm discussing here tonight. And it says, underground mine workers of the B Mountain Mining Company today, we mean like today in Liberia, the 2nd of May. I don't know what is the date there, but I guess it is the same as well.
So there's a 2nd, yep.
Yeah. Underground mine workers of the B Mountain Mining Company today stage extract action demanding for permanent employment of the company. They're not saying they're paying them small money, they're not paying them good, they're not treating them good, but they are demanding a permanent employment with the company. Now, if we say underground miners, let's explain this to you. For those of you who have not gone to a gold mine, sometimes you see a pit. A pit is where people dig and go underground to the extent that sometimes you find 40, 50 feet above sea level.
Below sea level.
You will go mining hole, the pit, right? I want to break it down in the simplest thing. For example, if someone is digging well for you, sometimes people go 20, 25, or 30 feet, and you say the well is so deep, the well is so deep. But this time around, the guys at the gold mine go 40, 50 to 60, sometimes 100 feet above sea level.
Below sea level.
Imagine your well is 25 or 30 feet. You say the well so deep.
I mean, below sea level. One thing when go on
is looking to get gold is going down 40, 50, 60, or 100 feet under the ground. The guys have been working for more than a year, and they are not employed. They are just contractors. So that means while they are under there, they go 50 or 60 feet. While they are under there, I already muted your microphone, so anything you say, they won't hear you. You have to please listen to me. While you are under there, yeah. While you are under there, if anything happens to you, if you are lucky to have someone that will break the news for the public to hear it, I can tell you whether you are safe or not. But the news or your death news, people will hear your death news or whatsoever that happened to you. But if you are not fortunate to have someone that is so good to say, okay, I'm going to tell the people what happened to the guys that went underground 50, 60 or 100 feet above sea level, then that means that only you and God and the angels, maybe Jesus. Those of you who are
how are you trying to present this story? No, I gotta put him in the back. This man is becoming the presenter now.
Yeah. Put him in the back. Okay, so I said it. I just put it.
Anthony, yes, before we come to that story, I beg you, let me do something here for our people. Somebody.
No, I already answered that question. Forget it. Once we start the War Crime Code, those people will get employment.
So here's what I want to do before we exit the War Crime Code. We want to do something that I usually do to make sure that people learn or understand. There are certain people who have never even read this document that Joseph Boyka signed today. So it is just okay for us to read it for them so they understand exactly what we are talking about. We're not going to read the whole thing. Okay,
it's long.
It's very long. We're going to read certain portion, maybe going to the last part of the document. And those of you, I'm not going to show the signature because I know you believe us that Joseph Boyka signed it today, the 2nd of May. So I'm going to read a certain portion. So number one, these are point 1 of the War Crime Code document that Joseph Boyka signed today. I want those of you who are listening to take note because this is going to affect your life either positively or negatively, no matter how it comes. Either the country benefit or the country is plunged back into chaos. But whatever the situation, Joseph Boyka today, the Office of the War Economic Crime Code shall be headed by an executive director who shall be an astute lawyer of impeccable character. Now, they are putting all the accolade. You must be an astute lawyer. You must be somebody who have impeccable character. It means somebody whose character cannot be questioned. We'll see the kind of person they're going to be, knowledgeable in the Liberian constitutional and criminal law and capable of working with the international community in formulation of the mechanism, procedures, and processes attending the establishment of War Crimes Code and an anti-corruption code for Liberia. So there are 2 things here they want to do. They want to establish a War Crime Code, but they also want to establish an anti-corruption code. It's something that we don't have in our jurisprudence. Our criminal code does not have anti-corruption code. We have an armed robbery code. We have economic crime code. We have criminal codes that deal with armed robbery and other things. Misdemeanor code. We have all of that, but we do not have a code for corruption. This is the first time that a government in Liberia is announcing.
Point of correction, we got an agency. We had an LACC, the Liberia.
Yeah, but we don't have a specific code that deal with anti-corruption like the armed robbery code. In Code D deal with armed robbery code in Liberia, armed robbery in Liberia. So code A deal with all major felonies, code B deal with misdemeanor and other felonies, and code C deal with economic crime code. So we don't have a code that says code E, anti-corruption code, for example. We don't have that. Yes, we have agency. So I'm just trying to make it, let's go to number 2 here. Number 2 is very important. We'll conduct research and studies and growing therefrom, and in consultation with international partners, select a model of an international tribunal for war crimes, including the jurisdiction and status of the Special Crime Court of Liberia, consistent in the harmony with international models, and have been used for similar trials in the War Crime Code. Now, in War Crime Code. So this is an interesting part. They are saying, ST, these are things we need to take our time to educate our people. The government of Liberia, of Joseph Boakai, is saying, no, we don't have a model yet. We don't know how the code is going to look like. We don't know what will be the component of the code. What will be the jurisdiction of the court? Is a code amenable to the Supreme Court of Liberia, that cases coming from the War Crime Code will go to the Supreme Court? Or is it going to be a independent court that will stand on its own, that will not be amenable to this Constitution or to the Supreme Court? What will be the model of the court? This is what they are trying to find out, and the person that will be appointed as executive director will work to find out what is the right model that will be a model after international tribunal. Now, this is another one. Number 3, the B. It said liaise with international the funding for the special code. Now, Joseph Boakai did not say the Liberian government will source the funding. He didn't say the Liberian government will put money forward. He didn't say the Liberian government will pay for it. He said this executive director that will be appointed will be the one who will go out there and ask other people out there and say, y'all, please give our money to fund this code. The probability is they can get money or they may not get money. What will be the situation? Now, I want you to pay attention to this one, and I think I want to stop to this one because this is the one that captured my attention. Draft legislation for the establishment of the Anti-Corruption Court in Liberia, taking into full consideration jurisdictional configuration, which shall be the separate and distinct from those ascribed to other current criminal code. I told you just now, ST, that's what they're going towards. They want a court specifically for corruption. This code is not in collaboration with other criminal courts. It's on its own. But this is legislative capable of addressing all forms of corruption cases connected to and growing out of the Civil War. Cases growing out of the Civil War, as well as corruption committed during the governance of the Republic of Liberia. I want you to understand, ST, and I want you and Anthony to have an opinion on this. Joseph Boakai government is saying we will have this corruption code. The corruption code will prosecute corruption that happened now, but it's also going to prosecute corruption that happened in the wartime. How does the government of Liberia is capable of determining corruption that happened during the wartime? How is it going to be possible? I don't know. So
through the ICC, so because from the document they look they
well, probably you take yourself from air or like you let me do it.
From the document, I think they want to prosecute cases from 1989 to 2003.
How is it going to happen?
Through the ICC, the International Criminal Court. That's what so the code will have to be independent.
But it's a corruption, ST. Let be specific. Let's tell our people what the people are looking for. They said the corruption code will be different from all the other criminal codes. It will prosecute cases of corruption that happen now and cases of corruption that happen during the civil crisis. How are they going to do that? Do they have any evidence? Do they have any barometer to measure whether a Charles Taylor and his other people were corrupt those days and Judy Bryant, other people were corrupt? Are they going to dig out those? Do they have evidence? Or are they going to depend on hearsay or what? So this is a difficult thing.
I think there should be records that have been preserved. Listen, when it comes to Liberia, the records on Liberia is not just something preserved only in Liberia. Most of the records are preserved internationally. So they can still dig up some records of the past. I mean, some of the corruptions of the past can still be docked up. So yes, but I wanted to speak on the International Criminal Court. Definitely, it's not going to be under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of Liberia. It's going the International Criminal Court, the War Crimes and Economic Crime Courts. It's going to be an independent court.
Then it cannot be established by a legislation.
Let me see the problem.
Yeah, the criminal court, like the other courts, definitely will be established by legislation. But when it comes to the War and Economic Crimes Court, the legislature has already signed off on it. It's going to be an independent court.
Yeah, I agree.
My concern is that I will
send you Councillor Gonglo's number. I want Councillor Gonglo to come into the studio and educate us about this code. He has a great knowledge about that. Let him come here because I got so many questions. The Constitution of Liberia mandates that any court established under the Liberian jurisprudence must be amenable to the Supreme Court of Liberia. Right. If there is a legislation that is going to be passed to create the criminal court or to create the war crime court, it is within the jurisdictional body of Liberia. It has to be amenable to the Supreme Court of Liberia. Now, if the legislature pass this code and create this code, and you say, no, we create you, even though we are all under the Supreme Court, but you're not going to be amenable to the Supreme Court of Liberia. I don't see how it's going to happen. We need Councillor Gonglo to come here.
Either way you put it, we're still going to have problems. In the first place, we don't even have the money to fund whatever's going to happen. So at the end of the day, the international community that's going to fund the whole activity of the International War Crime and Economic Court, they will still have the influence over the court. So let's get a lawyer here to speak to us.
Let me say something here. The Supreme Court, the executive order, all those things, they are just smoke screen. I would say this thing.
I was kind of trying to connect someone who
could
be a very important guest to us tonight. But
call Councillor Gonglo. Call Councillor Gonglo. You got a number?
Go ahead, Arthur. Go ahead.
Let me say Councillor Gonglo number, and you call him, and then after 1 minute, after you will come on. This is serious, but we're just going to hear a little bit tonight. But we're going to have Councillor Gonglo come in studio, and we're going to hear from him details. How is this war crime code going to happen? Because he's a proponent of the war crime code as well. And if possible, we're going to see how we can bring Jerry Limerick Pierre to come and talk to us about this war crime code signing, declaration signing. So I'm going to send you Councillor Gonglo's to do. But let me read a statement from, before I go to Arthur, let me read a statement from Amos. Say the government of Liberia needs to be more about mining companies in Liberia and take more decisive action. That's what Amos Bomi is saying. Instead of looking at war crime code, instead of putting all the energy on war crime code, look at the mining company.
You don't have much interest in that. I think I strongly believe that the president, Joseph Yuma Boakai, should have attend or pay more attention to what we call in Liberia the bread and butter issues than that of the establishment of the War and Economic Crimes Code.
But as I was saying, you missed the whole point about that executive order and whatsoever. They got 100 days, all the big mouth they make around in front of the media that 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud. They had 100 days and there's nothing to show. And Boakai finished some sort of, let's say, pitchy. So he may be planning a trip to the U.S., he want to meet with maybe Joe Biden. He had to do something that will make him look presentable. That's what the executive order is for. Now, you put talking about the establishment of war crime code. Ask yourself, how many representatives from the ICC that came to Liberia? Zip, nada. Who pushing this? And why? Not even the U.S. State Department, because the U.S. government do not subscribe to the ICC code mandates.
No. I disagree because the United States Honor Secretary was on here and she made it clear what the U.S. government or her government is looking at. And this is the
it's a terrific
interview.
question. So I know that there is a draft executive order that the president has written that would create the office.
Really? Let me tell you.
It's a terrific question. So I know that there is a draft executive order.
Go ahead. I don't know what my interview not coming on, but go ahead.
Office.
Really?
That is my understanding. I'm hoping that it will be made. Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead,
a terrific question. So I know that there is a draft executive order that the president has written that would create the office.
Really?
That is my understanding. I'm hoping that it will be made public.
Okay.
It hasn't been released yet. There's also resolutions I know coming out of the House and eventually will go into the Senate that would also establish the court. So I think it would be fantastic to see both political branches, the executive branch and the legislative branch, in support of this. Once you have the legislative framework, then you can turn this over to the technocrats. They can start to build the court and design what it looks like, thinking about ways to bring international assistance. That's partly why I was in Sierra Leone, to understand what it took to establish that court, how they dealt with some of the technical matters, and what lessons can be learned from that very positive experience in Sierra Leone.
Now you hear that? Now you hear that? I thought before you come in. I got two.
In the rehab or Boston Point community. And kind of the technology is kind of giving a tough time, so we try playing the video of the host. What
you didn't get a video?
I'm trying to explain. So let's get back to them.
You didn't get a video?
No.
Video.
No, Anthony didn't get a video. We got it.
It's a terrific question. So I know that there is a draft.
I don't think the video was actually. Anyway. The video did not reach us.
Anthony, I want you to tell me, Anthony, if I play the video, can you hear it? Is it on air?
I am not even seeing the video before I will hear it.
So there gotta be some connection issues we gotta work on.
So what you do is to just
how are we seeing you? How are we seeing you? Tell me, how are we seeing you?
Look, in my opinion, technical stuff happens.
Technology. So just send me the video or place the video to where we normally talk, everybody, and I'm gonna try playing it.
And then, let Anthony put it in the group chat. Anthony can take it and play, but your system is not communicating with his system. So, but I want to hear Anthony.
Okay, let me go off and come back.
Thank you. Go off so that you don't interrupt me.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, thank you. Look, SG Tony, the idea behind the International Criminal Court. Let me tell you. You were playing the video. Yeah, that's what the ambassador, right? For International Global Justice Group. But that group, if I tell you, it's a subsidiary group to the state or the Justice Department. It doesn't have teeth. It don't have any. All they're all doing is to recommend. Let's say you have a family lawyer, right? Then the family lawyer only practice financial assets. Then time comes, they have a criminal thing. That family lawyer that practice only financial issue, he wouldn't sit in there listening to the financial issue because on a criminal aspect, he had nothing to offer. That's one. Two, look at even the Palestine and Israel movement are going on, right? When the International Criminal Court issued that warrant for Ben Netanyahu, you know who against it? The same people, the International Justice Group, they stay in the United States, fighting that same warrant that it should be put down. Why? They have 119 countries supported that warrant. The United States government want that warrant tear apart. Now, the same International Criminal Court, they are fighting to bring in Liberia. Let me tell you what the court will do in Liberia. They're not going to bring jobs. Sloan was right. He said that when we turn Taylor over, we'll get development. We turn Taylor over, you bring 50,000 textbook. And other than that, the U.S. government always there yelling at the Liberia government that taxpayer money you're using, that tested taxpayer money, when not tested, then not Arkansas. When not Arkansas, then not Mexican. So that the taxpayer money will just be preached to. So now when the international court that people talking about being shoved down our people through, we got to be very careful and tell our people. Because what it will do, it will bypass Ellen Justice Ellie, who made the first $10,000, who will be $28 million now. It will bypass her, but it will take Valley Tele, who on vacation in Lofa County. That's what it's going to do. And
all right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know you get it thinking, but I get it.
No. I got you. You're good. You're good. But so what we want to do is want to go to the next topic so we can have enough time to discuss it because our time.
The video you played, the Sierra Leone code she talked about, she said she wanted Sierra Leone to study. You know that the Sierra Leone Parliament banned Allen White for that country based on how they handle it. There's no study over there. They ruin the people's country. They bypass the constitution in Sierra Leone and did their own thing. When they agreed that the constitution would be the only final, the Supreme Court in Sierra Leone were bombarded, bamboozled and shoved to the side. The same thing. There was a law in Liberia that prohibited any court going above the Supreme Court until that law is repealed and replaced. You cannot establish the international court. Why are passing resolution? What's a resolution?
That's a strong argument there. That's a strong argument, but let's go back. We'll come back to them. We want to take calls, and then we want our people to understand what we do. Anthony brought
okay, so folks, if you just join us, welcome. You're listening to the Talking Points.
Anthony, can you hear me?
Bliss Radio. Today is May 2, and the time is 22 minutes past 10 o'clock. We are drawing closer to the climax of this program today.
Is Anthony hearing me at all?
I don't know, but Mr. Soto and a lot of ST Sharif, we have another topic to discuss. Unless I'm out of ghost. Because you obviously know that I'm not a host, though. I'm the
no, guys. I'm out of ghost on the show today.
We're not seeing you. We're not seeing you, Mr. Gerald. Just go to bed.
Yeah. Check him all the power to that. Check him all the power to that.
Everybody on the show, he doesn't see me.
So what happens is that to conclude on the whole issue of the war and economic crimes code in Liberia, Mr. Salif and Dallas Solo, obviously, Mr. Salif have told us that the issue of the war and economic crimes code is necessary, very important for Liberia, but it is now urgent. Mr. Soto, you are also telling us tonight that you are not in agreement with the president's, signing the executive order number 131, establishing the war and economic crimes code in Liberia. Now,
you can see me. You can see me.
Get your final words from this topic. Sorry for coming on late, Mr. Soto.
Yeah, I thought I didn't get the link, but the link was buried underneath another post that you.
Guys, you can't see me. You're telling me so I can leave.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
You go to bed now. You're done.
We can't see you. We can't see you.
Look, Tony, the executive order.
Yeah.
No. You're Anthony. Anthony, I'm out of ghost.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, we can't see you.
The idea here, right? You are president. You say you want to establish this thing. Why use executive order? It's actually preposterous because executive order have no bearing. Even let's say they were building the court. Let's say 4 years, because it will take about 4 to 5 years to build that court. While they are building the court, your executive order there, you lose power, you leave power, the new president get in, issue another executive order, dismantling the court. All that money gone for nothing. This is why I say the executive order, he printing a visa, he cleaning a passport so they can stamp the visa in. That what the executive order is for. It's not for anything. There's no need for executive order because executive order do not help anything. That executive order is the penal code. Now you just put on Liberia people now they have to deal with it later on. Because that executive order 131, some president had to deal with it because it's there now in a frame.
Yeah, that's what I thought about it. Executive
that's a crazy idea. When you have the resolution to both houses, they have a resolution. If you are capable leader as you claim to be,
sign it into law.
Get into the people that signed the resolution, get on their back, create a committee that will work with the legislative branch to create that law quick. Then you can say, oh yeah, I have the people, I have the framework done. Other people from DC to come, and you get free only why they got it from. But they are not a lawyer from. You know that? They are security from. They are bounty hunter, the one we call in America, bounty hunter. They play you, Tony Ed. The way you were describing that hole, you were talking about what are the in-build mountain. When you stop there and you get $100 million for those guys from Allen White, they will dig that hole and get in there, get out, and then they put that in. Grand McCarthy will never know how they got there. That's their expertise. Anyone picking up people in the villages in Sierra Leone, in a place that car can read, you were using a Black Hawk helicopter. By the time the country Supreme Court will be or the president will be aware in the head. What is the crime?
All right. So, Mr. Soto and Mr. Salif, I want the two of you to actually read a comment from one of our viewers, and maybe you can respond to that. So I'm going to place it on the screen right now. Take your own time to read it. Yeah, because I'm going to read it for those who are listening on the radio in Liberia. This is Amos Bumi. He said, honestly, the War and Economic Crimes Code is important but not timely, like Mr. Salif was saying. There are lots of issues that need to be addressed. Now, then, there are a lot of issues that need to be addressed now than the War and Economic Crimes Code. Example, water and sanitation, education, agriculture, infrastructure, and etc. The Bouakai-led government needs to focus more on the arrest agenda if they want to achieve. I think you read it as our reading as well.
Yeah.
What do you guys make of this comment from one of our viewers?
Arthur Solo just joining. I want him to have enough time. Arthur, go ahead.
Mr. Jero is back. He's struggling to come back. I think
you are muted, Solo.
Okay. I think the Amos is somewhat right. The Economic Crime Code, let me tell you, it's a good setting. You can say it's a good thing. Yes. No, we're not hearing you. We can't hear you.
You are muted.
You muted, maybe.
Anthony, can you see me? I'm out. Goes to Anthony.
I'm seeing you and I can hear you now.
Okay. So the statement that he made, he's I would say 89%, 99% right. We don't want to do away with the War Economic Crime Code. This same thing was presented to the TRC group that if you want war crime or Palaba Hut, the Liberian people chose the Palaba Hut. The way it's looking now, it's like to say in our Liberian thing now, the people they are crying more than they bereave. I can assure you right now. I was listening to every Garson going. Go in the street right now, ask about the war crime code. Say, my man, we're talking about car they getting stuck, keke them being banned to go to play. You're talking about war crime code.
So Mr. Soto, let me hold you there.
Yeah.
If I got you right, you are saying the War and Economic Crimes Code is not necessary now at this stage, like Mr. Salif said, then ever more.
Look, let me say this very clearly. Salif knows why I stay on this one. Economic crime code is good, but we don't need it. To be frank, we don't need it at all. Right now, you can go back and you got the GSA, the LSCC, right? They already gave them prosecutorial power. So let's say we infuse that. The people that you're talking about right now the country divided. Bouakai getting in office by 50-50 of the country. Your main focus is to unite the country. The War Economic Crime Code, first thing I would say, oh yeah, you want to from Lima County, you want to after Prince Johnson, will not take it. The other person say, oh, me for Grand Guinea, you want to after George Gole or Tomo Yaya, we're not taking it. The country being divided right there. What you think will happen? You think you will send the AFL that you already Bumbaso, you not pay them, you call their name that didn't want you send to Capricorn somebody, or the national police that are not even properly trained, that are not even equipped, that grabbing EPS officer that is armed with pistol and start grabbing the man by the belt. What happened? The man draw a weapon. The man have more training. There four of you. There's only one guy. You're pulling him left and right. You're not able to take him. Even to put him in a car, you're not able. Like a person you send to Grand Gina to go arrest somebody there. Grand Gina, Yeke Koluba will be the very good testament for it. All they know say he can do it more and jumping over a car. When you get to Grand Gina, what they do, any post line in your ear, you can't now.
I want you go there. I want you go that route.
I'm just saying, so these are the problems that are there. The people already, the war over. What? We going to what? 2003, the war over. How many years now? 10 years. You passed 10 years. The poor in Luanda, they move forward. Right? Luanda, Paul Kagame still in power. They move forward. Look at the poor country now. European, that think that Paul Kagame is a dictator, that play the one send refugee here now. They're giving him billions of dollars now. They want to send refugee to a country. Why? Because a country is safe, it's secure, and it's developed. How he did it? When you were to put a hair underneath this so-called neo-colonialism people, you will not do anything because every day they'll be yelling and he say, we'll bring a war crackle. You play war, we'll bring a war crackle. That one boy, he can tell you, even BBC was in your country, he shut down BBC for putting out a story without permission. He said, you couldn't have permission to do it. And plus, your story you posted was false. He kicked out BBC. They put Toto and said, let me tell you, this is Luanda. We, the Luandese, will decide what we want. Not someone elsewhere in Belgium. When we needed them, there was no one. Liberian people, we base everything. When my girlfriend and me fight today, the embassy, my company going there, instead of going to the court or going to the police station. Masache, I don't give her full money, she running to the American embassy. How many times in Liberia the Chinese embassy put out a statement beating down the government? The Chinese not there for that. Their Belt and Road Initiative is development. They keep their mouth shut. The government of the day that the government of the day, they don't get involved in people, local politics. No. But America, you want to set an example of democracy. Look at what happened to Palestine. You were looking for new war. It was South Africa that sued Israel today. The president getting arrest going on ahead, General Putin. But who voting against it? United States. Now the same people coming to Liberia one war crack.
Solo. I think Mr. Salif want to weigh in on that.
I mean, he wasn't here from the start of the show, but he's spoken everything that I have said. We're not against the War Crime Code. I know definitely the War Crime Code is definitely going to open up some Pandora boxes. And listen, the country is already forging ahead. I'm not saying we don't need closure on all these things. People are going. I told you right from the beginning, President Bouaka, there are so many things he can do. I talked about the election being 50-50. Okay, we need to reconcile the country. There's so many things we need to do. We need to get after the arrest agenda. We got to get after it. The agriculture, we need to get after it. The roads, we need to get after it. Education. Liberia has one of the poorest educational standards around the world. In Africa, let me not just say the word. In West Africa, okay? So we need to get after that. We need to get after sanitation. We need to get after tourism. There's so many things we can do. We need to build up an economy. So I'm into sustainable development, and it talks about improving the quality of life of the people. I don't see how the War Crime Economic Crime Code is going to improve the quality of life for ordinary Liberians. I mean, definitely, it has to be done, but it cannot be ahead. It's the Bouaka administration is having the misplaced priority. And like Arthur Solo said, they fail at the 100 days deliverables. They're just trying to use the War Crime Code to show face to the international community that we're doing something here. That the Economic Crime Code is not going to create any employment for any Liberians. The Economic Crime Code is not going to bring down the price of gasoline in the country. The Economic Crime Code is not going to bring the price of the staple diet of the Liberian people. The Economic Crime Code is not going to improve the salary structure in Liberia. It's not going to pay school fees. It's not going to do anything for Liberians. Nothing. Nada. Okay, it's not going to do it. So it's a misplaced priority. It is necessary. It's needful. It's important. But it's not urgent. President Bouaka came on a rescue mission.
Look,
getting the people life back together.
Okay.
Improving the quality of life. That's
all right. Thank you, ST. Thank you, ST. My man,
who brought a man back from
Get Jolomo to him. What you back for? Hey, Tony, my man.
After you play with me, I'll put you in the bag right now. Look, I listen to you guys very well, but I want us to discuss that issue that Anthony brought up.
The Bay Mountain.
Yeah, Bay Mountain has 3 different kinds of employees. They have the regular employees who they have employed. They have the contractors, and they have the day employees. You go there, you do your job, and you leave. And they have the contractors like 3 months, 6 months, some of them are 1 year, and then you go there. Then the problem, those who are clamoring are the people who are contractors. They are the ones that are doing the deep, how you call it,
deep pit or what?
Deep pit work. And the reason why they are, in my view, the way I look at it, I didn't talk to any of them. The reason why they are asking for permanent employment is because of the benefits. So if you are a contractor, BMAT is not going to indemnify you when you die. You're not going to give money to your family. They pay you.
If any other major injuries occur.
Exactly. They're not going to indemnify you. So they are saying, hey, we've been here 1 year, we've been here so long, and 2 years, and you have not been able to transition us from being ordinary contractor to being regular employees, because we too want benefit. We too want to grow in the system. Even as a contractor, you cannot go to any position easily, because before they employ people, they got to look at their employees, take somebody from there and promote them. You are all the way down there, a contractor, before they bring you, or you must have been a sectioner. So this is the argument, and I don't know what you think about that. Are there? It said Bee Mountain who is the real problem, or the people who signed the contract with Bee Mountain, the concession agreement, the lawmakers, the county officials, the government itself, that is supposed to be looking at the terms of the employment mentor. And that, I think that's where I'm looking at.
Okay, brother.
Don't you think so?
It's simple. It depends, again, like you said, what was in the concession agreement, what was in the social contract, what was in, these things. The Bee Mountain is not responsible to automatically turn contractors into regular employees. Even here in the US, the company I work for, I don't work directly for the company. We contract with the company. We are vendors. I can't say I've been there since 2016. I can say, hey, I've been here since 2016. You must automatically, because when you are a regular employee with the company, it comes with a lot of benefits, that those regular employees have that the vendors do not have. Now, if I need those benefits, I got to go to my company, because this company pays my company, who is the vendor, and my company pays me. So my benefits come from my company. So those contractors, Bee Mountain pays them, and then they are supposed to take care of their staff. There's no charter that, hey, once the person stays here 1 year, 2 years, they automatically must become a Bee Mountain employee. No, that's not how it works. So sometimes our people are advocating for things they don't know about. It is education. You work for a contractor that is working with Bee Mountain. Bee Mountain pays that contractor. That contractor.
I agree with you. This is theoretical.
So we don't know what is in the charter. We don't know what's in the
ST. I'll let Ato come in on this too, because it's very important. ST, what you say here is the system we all know here is a system that looks theoretically correct. These are dangerous jobs.
Yeah,
these are jobs when you have one mudslider, you got thousands or tens of people dying.
My health insurance comes from my contractor my company, okay? My company gives me health insurance. They give me all the benefits, but we contract with the main company. I cannot go to argue that because I've been here since 2016, the main company must automatically hire me. It's not in the charter. That's not in the agreement between my company that is a vendor to the regular company. So it depends on what the charter of that project is with Bee Mountain and their vendors, their contractors. So if you want to become a regular member, there has to be vacancy. Like now, I'm a vendor. If there are so many vacancies, if I want them, I can apply for them. Because I'm already in the system, it's easier for me to convert from a temp employee to regular employee. That's how it works. But it's not like I'm going to carry a placard and say, you know what? We've been here for this time. You must make us regular. No, that's not how it works. So they need to be educated on that.
Mr. Salih, let me show you there.
Tony, give me a minute. Let me put that in
a little bit. In Liberia, there's this case where workers would take upon their time and sometimes register their concerns to the heads of institutions. Sometimes 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 1 month, 2 or 3 months. If you see employees of an institution holding placards with all kinds of inscriptions on the placards, you should know that they have applied all effort to get to the heirs or to get the institution attention to the plight, and it did not work out.
Their protest should be towards the government. It's not towards B Mountain. This is the scenario, right?
No.
Let's assume you, Anthony. No, hold on. You are B Mountain.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Okay,
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
So
Hold on, guys.
Anthony, you are B
guys.
Mountain. Arthur Solo is working for you, and I'm working for Arthur Solo. If I'm not being treated properly, I cannot protest against you. I protest against Arthur Solo, and that's where the government's supposed to come in to regulate some of these things.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute, guys. I have Senator Snow on the line.
Okay.
He is one of the senators of Bomi County. We caught him by unaware, so we asked him for a minimum time to speak to the B Mountain employees' request. Those who are on contract that says they want to be permanent employees. What does he know about it? And how is the county officials and the legislature going about it? Legislative caucus going about it? Honorable Snow, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Jason. The first thing B Mountain is situated.
Oh my God! What's this?
Man, please call that line again. We need his person.
No, yes, I know he will pick up.
He will pick up. I know he'll pick up.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Oh.
You wanna text me his number so I can call him from Liberia?
No, when I call him from here,
you call him from Liberia, he probably not gonna pick
then we can ask him question, all of us. Okay, sorry, sir. Sorry, yeah, I got disconnected. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So like I said, B Mountain is situated in Grand Cape County, and I'm the senator from Bomi County. But again, we have sisterly relationship, and it's the Hunchback Man story. So when the Hunchback Man dies, you have Hunchback, you need to see how he's being put in his casket, so that when you have the same situation, you will adjust. Having said that, the issue with B Mountain is a similar issue with Western Cluster, for example. So we are advocating that there are jobs that you cannot have a contractor to do. For example, you cannot have a contractor to work in the board of the central bank,
right,
or any bank. You cannot, there are jobs that contractors just wouldn't do. If you say, okay, this person is to clean this area on a contractor basis, fine. So as it relates to B Mountain, those are people that are actually going in the tunnel on the ground to bring in your asset, your value precious that you have a concession for. Then you want them to be contractor staff. I think is wrong. And we are advocating, we're joining the citizens to advocate that these people should be permanently employed with benefits, medical benefits, or any housing. They should be given the necessary impetus to dignify their labor. So I agree fully with the workers. I disagree with the violent aspect of the expression. But again, I fully agree with them that they must be given the just compensation and also with the necessary benefit commensurating with the job that they are doing and the services they are rendering.
Okay, guys, you have question before I let him go?
I have a question. Thank you, Honorable Senator. And I have a question. Why is it that in the concession agreement, knowing that B Mountain and any other company that is so massive will not take fairness to be their game, and you allow them to have subsidiary or contractors in them where you can just tell them that no, there'll be no contractor. Everybody in Liberia will be employee. Contractor will be foreigners. Why you couldn't do that?
This is Arthur Solo.
Okay, so what it is, today in most concessions, things are outsourced. Then that's why I even mentioned the issue about, let's say, janitorial services. So you can open a company and outsource your janitorial services. You can open a hospital and outsource your electrical work or your cleaning services or your something. But you cannot say that that person who's going to perform anesthesia on the patient, that will be the left or death of the hospital, will be a contract staff without any full commitment to that hospital, or in the bank, in the vault, without full commitment and benefit. So there are components of that contract that provides for outsourcing. But as relates to employment, there is of the contract, the MDA also talk about employment.
Yes.
And I may not have the exact or section of the MDA, but the component that have to do with technical services and the money and all of these people should be employed. Because when the concessionaire come to the legislature, in the letter that the president, BA president, we are BA president, Boyka president, Shelly, whichever president will write, they will state there how many jobs the company will be providing, how many Liberians will have jobs. So it's based on some of these things that the legislature will give the necessary incentive, because in lieu of the incentive in your investment is that Liberians will have jobs that will take away the pressure from the national government. So that job component that entices the government or the legislature to give you the concession is but not limited to those key areas that has to do with the viability of your operation. And one of the key areas of viability of operation is the money aspect. People go in the tunnel. Now you cannot go in the tunnel. You cannot have a pilot or cabin crew that's not insured. So people going in such a risky environment to work must have insurance, they must have coverage, they must have something that will entice them and give the necessary protection and benefit to carry on those services.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got it.
To us on FM, Blaze FM 90.7, and you will.
Can I get a question?
You can better search Blaze.
Okay. ST say you got a question before he goes.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Honorable Snow, and thank you for your explanation. I think it makes sense, but my concern is we cannot force Beat Mountain. It depends on the contract the government has with Beat Mountain. If Beat Mountain definitely companies outsource their jobs, and that's the right. And usually it's the dirty jobs that are often outsourced. So if the government of Liberia knows that, okay, Beat Mountain is going to outsource jobs and people got to go in the tunnel, then the contractor who employed those laborers that are going in the tunnel, shouldn't government have regulation on how these people are taken? Because it's like you are trying to force Beat Mountain for government failure, because Beat Mountain outsourced their job. So a company took that job and hired people to go in the trenches. So those people, the contractors who hired those people that are going in the tunnels, they are the ones that are supposed to provide those necessary things for them. So government regulation through the environmental authority, through the Ministry of Labor, they're supposed to come up with standards and regulations that, hey, if you employing people to do this kind of job, it's in America, in our OSHA training, we call that hazardous job. You're going into enclosure areas. So then the government should regulate those people to provide PPE, to provide benefits, to provide certain things, chemicals they are exposed to, and all these things. I don't think that's something that we should force on Beat Mountain, that no, you must employ these people after Beat Mountain has outsourced the job to a company. That company is the one that should be regulated to take care of those people. Honorable.
To be clear, we don't know. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I agree with you. What you see making sense. What you see makes sense. Now, my thing is, you are right that you outsource a certain component of your operations. And the government now, in regulating those areas, should show that these people have certain standards for the employees, which you are fully right about. So in this case, things are evolving, times are evolving. Maybe when the concession was passed, or when they gave the right or the right of these people, they did not take certain things into consideration. These are evolving times, and as the law has not started. I mean, the law was made for men, not men for law. So if the law does not conform with certain realities of the day, you can always revisit it. You can always, that force, you use the word force, it may not be force, But we can now say to B Mountain, your outsource, the company that you've outsourced this to is not living up to the labor standards, not living up to certain standards. So we must conform with the law. And then that just because that will be a third party liability. But then B Mountain is the owner of the concession. So even if B Mountain outsourced to another company and there's any material or significant breach of the concession or damage, the government of Liberia will go for B Mountain, and then B Mountain in return now can sue the company that they outsourced to, because it's B Mountain that is in possession of the MDA and not the outsourced company.
Okay, guys, I mean, we can bring Honorable Snow here full time, and he will be able to expound better. But this is Blaze FM 90.7, and thank you, Honorable Snow.
We want you to
Honorable Snow, please make time for us. We want you on this show so we can have a better lengthy discussion.
Yeah, because a lot of us have.
Okay, so I caught him unaware. He's a great friend of mine. Like I said, when I called him, the first thing he said, "Oh, you still got my number?" That's years of this your communication. But here is the thing he tried to stress, and I agree with him. If you are going to put people in a job that would take life, that is dangerous, there must be a way that the person can be sure that if they lost their limbs, if they get disabled, if they get not sure, I mean, if the gas it make them to be whatever way, their family will somehow be indemnified, or he will be indemnified.
Yeah, but why you not getting Gibson?
Let me finish.
No, I come in because we're handling this thing emotionally.
No. Let me finish. Okay. I refuse to let you stop me. I refuse to let you stop me.
Mr.
Dictator. The man are dictator, boy. I will not agree. The thing is, it's making me angry that B Mountain itself is not paying attention to what is happening. Now, when we have another demonstration, we'll have another protest that destroy B Mountain properties, that's when they will come to them and say, or when the government goes in and say, okay, you outsource the job, look at what the people are doing. Look at the kind of job they are doing. Bad job, dangerous job.
But that's why I'm pausing you. You see,
that's when the national police will go and use firearms to shoot the citizens.
No. But wait, let us be fair and let us be honest. You see what Gibson is doing? You're trying to shift blame from the Liberian government to B Mountain. This is what I'm saying. Let's assume you are Liberian government. You brought in B
Mountain.
Hold on, yeah. You brought in B Mountain. You signed contract with them. Anthony is B Mountain. He outsourced his job to a contractor called Arthur Solo. Arthur Solo hired me. Gibson is government of Liberia. Anthony is B Mountain. Arthur Solo is the contractor that B Mountain outsourced to. Arthur Solo hired me. So I work for Arthur Solo. The government of Liberia is supposed to pressure Arthur Solo.
You work for Arthur Solo directly.
Yes, to make sure that I got the due benefit, that I'm protected on this hazardous job that I'm doing. Instead of the government of Liberia regulating the labor law and environmental law and hazardous working condition, you are not trying to, you collected money from B Mountain and say, oh no, it's B Mountain. B Mountain now should go to Arthur Solo. No, when the government in such an environment, government regulates what happened. B Mountain has taken their job and given it to Arthur Solo. Say, hey, this is the area we want you to work. Arthur Solo recruited his staff. So Arthur Solo, his responsibility is towards me. And it is the government that will force Arthur Solo to take care of his staff. That's how it works.
That's it to add to you. Tony, you see the process here is the laziness of the legislature, what they're doing.
Yeah, the government is too lazy and careless.
I'm asking the question, even though he dodged it, but it's okay because I respect him and I will get in another time. Why is it that you see two places that you see concession agreements are different? Nigeria, Ghana, read their concession agreement. Any contractor that is foreign, you enter in a country, your direct dealing is with the government and the people. You must hire everybody. Now, if you want to be a contractor, the only way in Ghana, Nigeria, and other states, the only way you can come in It's by the government approval. Not you're the company outsourcing that job.
Yeah, and the government should have standards.
The government will have standards that you will meet. Maybe they'll tell you, say, Tony, you got to wear a blue helmet. You got to make sure that you wear a reflective jacket.
You need PPE.
Or a protective boot on. These are the things, and then they will give you that pass for the company to let you in. But in Liberia, the senators and representatives, they are too lazy, and even the concession agreement was not written by them. It was written by B. Martin lawyers. If you are my lawyer, you, Tony, you're my lawyer, go into court, and the court say, oh, present a statement that describe after you say after it's a wonderful man. You my lawyer. You tell me you tell the court how wonderful I am. The government of the days will say no. In Liberia, we don't have no kind of facility for somebody who contractor to go buy PPE. They will not afford it. No contractor in the mountain business because it's dangerous. Bill Martin, you will hire instead of contractor, you will hire everyone, and there will be awarded full benefit. This is where the government can put it full down. It happened when the community in Bill Martin, STI talk about it. There's an outreach branch of the corporate arm. You don't tell the corporate say we will build water pump. When you take the money and then nothing happens, the people won't go against Bill Martin. They'll call the police. The police will start shooting people. But
it's
if
a failure of government.
That you will build hospital, you will build clinic, you will do this. You will do it in 2 years time of your existing, or else we're coming for you. They will do it.
Let me
how long is the show going? I gotta leave, but it's
we're going to be closing.
I'm almost at the climax of the show.
It's the failure of government.
We gotta take 5 calls.
Yeah. So what happened is that, Mr. Soto, what happened is that through the kind courtesy of the board and the CEO of this institution, we are going to make our way, there in Grand Cape County. We're going to talk to citizens of Grand Cape County about B. Martin, workers of Grand Cape County, B. Martins, as well as the institution itself. And then we're going to balance the story and bring it right on this radio for people to listen. But let me tell you this. There is something we're going to discuss tomorrow, which is very important. We will take course shortly, like the host said. But there is this information that is circulating all around in Montserrat County, if there's a possibility, even in Liberia at large, that the CEO of this institution is being heavily supported by the current regime headed by President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Tomorrow, he will not be asking questions. If there's a possibility, Solo is on and Mr. Salif is on, we'll be asking him questions to explain to us who is Mr. Gibson Gerald, why Blaze Radio, and how he came out about this whole dream. Because no, sir, I don't want to say sir because already you can't get too much honor. So what happened is that you really need to talk to us. And if there's any other person that you think need to add to your voice, you should have them informed tomorrow that Friday edition of the Talking Point will be talking to you.
Okay, no problem. I agree. I will leave it like that. Tomorrow, I will be in the guest seat, and I will not be host, and I'll be in the guest seat, and we'll confirm.
Because this is something we have answered a lot of questions. I don't even know if we have answered the question rightly or wrongly, but the information is circulating in the Liberian media institution and the communities and some quarters in Liberia that Honorable, did I say Honorable? Mr. Gibson Gerald.
Mr. Gibson Gerald. We got satellite image that the men were having breakfast with Boakai.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. In fact, there are some people who said they saw him on a spoon talk.
Thank you.
No, spoon talk out like a rendezvous. That is place.
Okay.
The man.
No, let me tell you, Tony.
Yeah.
You see, I think I'm bringing my own charges that Gacy is part of the 250,000 for media propaganda group in the diaspora. So we need to know.
Analysts and analysts. Yeah, but how many people mug me in the street and say I can put that money on?
Mr. Solo, Mr. Salif, our charges here at Blaze Radio, because we're just beginning, for an hour is $150. So he will have to present the $150, and I will show you guys the receipt on camera that he paid for his airtime before we can start to talk to him about
that. Exactly. As a guest.
Okay, no problem. I will do it.
Yes.
I will do it.
So let's go you there.
I send the money grant. You must show the money grant receipt to them.
Let's talk to our callers. Hello, welcome. What's your name and where you come from?
Thank you. So let me get
Pascal Davis.
Pascal Davis. I want to talk to Mr. Giroux.
Okay.
If the station must be followed, the government already got plenty PRO list. So just merely want to be independent and just allow all the voices to flow from in from out. But if you make it now, the government own them will not be too okay because they already get plenty. The gas from municipality.
The government do nothing to me about. They be independent about.
They can like be independent as well.
The man went library, just shut up a line. We can't talk to the man. Not the member panel with Mr.
The issue of beer mountain, our officials in this country has always been the problem. I mean, I'm going to just give you a short story. I mean, there are lawmakers that I know personally. Imagine you go to an Indian man or a Lebanese man to buy steel raw. You want to build a bridge, right? And you go and purchase that steel raw for $2 or $3. And you tell the Lebanese man or the Indian man for $15 there. Imagine a lawmaker. Because you want to construct a bridge that is maybe 5,000. But you want to tell your people that bridge costs 15,000 US. So you learn to corrupt with the men who have come from foreign countries to do business. This is how they always sign concessions. You were here when we all talk about Eddie Johnson said even Mr. Boyka signing 58 concessions agreement that didn't meet international standards. Have they changed? Absolutely no. So this is the mark. We allow the people to rob us. In fact, we are the ones telling them come and rob our country.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to hold you there. We'll take 30 seconds each because we don't have much time. Let's talk to this next caller. Hello, what's your name and where have you called from?
Hello, how you doing? I'm Bala Kamara, call from Rehab.
Mr. Kamara, welcome. I guess this is your second time calling. You called in the first segment, right?
Yes, sir.
You're welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. I just want to contribute as it relates to the Beer Mountain issue.
Yeah.
For every company or concession that is signed in this country, there's a portion of that concession that has to do with the social contract development fund.
Okay.
Now,
how does it work?
Yeah, you see, when it comes to a concession in this country, the government is squarely responsible. More especially, let me retrospect on Akala Mita.
All right.
When Meta came, we considered it the biggest investment in Liberia. Meta came, there was a lot of bureaucracy at the Capitol building from the executive. They had to appeal the Capitol. That very Snoop, that court, was member of that cabinet.
He was representative of District Number 6 by then.
Certainly.
Okay.
They have to come down to their knees with $3 million. So on the 4 pieces of pick out to the executive. When I think on the first segment, I said that when the government is serious or we are serious-minded people, the work or the donors will look at us and spend their money. Now, you came with a concession. We had a compliant mentor right here awaiting you. You either take it or you leave it. That is the first thing when the company comes. If we have a serious government, the government will first take our labor law and the standard of our labor costs to that company. This is the work of the company. This is what our labor law says. Now, if the government does go contrary to the labor law, it tracks the effort of the workers, the Liberian people. That's the reason today most of the companies, they are not for the labor aspect because the bureaucracy there, you see government, why you be the 50 executives in government are not working the company, they're taking salary in the poor company every month. You think what money they're taking?
You think that is happening?
Sure.
Okay.
So you think that
how many persons do you know that are now working at the Beer Mountain Mining Company, but they are working in the government at the same time taking pay at the company? How many persons do you know?
Let me just
you don't have to call names though.
Yeah, let me just retrospect when the then speaker visited the Beer Mountain. The former speaker at the time.
Councillor, not Councillor, but Speaker Chambers.
Yeah, Speaker Chambers.
Okay.
You know, there was a lot of dissatisfaction and, you know, at the man before his visitation, especially with the labor issue. And the laborer felt that his visitation could bring some change to them. But when he went, everybody knows what happened. Okay. He was just going to the people's office, they talk, and he left. That was it.
All right. Okay. We will have to hold you there. We're going to take just 2 more calls and go back to our panelists. 0776 37 68 69. We're taking our own time to call because someone sent me a text and said you guys read the number too fast. So 0776 37 68 69. 0776 37 68 69 is the number. But next week, hopefully by the grace of God, we're going to activate the Lone Star line for those of you subscribing with Lone Star. So while we are anticipating our callers, we're going to get to you for probably maybe you want to respond to the 2 callers who just called, and maybe then we can come in with other callers.
Oh, yeah, then thank you very much for those of you. Before we do that, those of you who are good at internet, go to our website, www.blazedailynews.com. We'll have stories there for you to read. And beginning tomorrow, because after the show, Anthony and I will try to install the international radio and see how it works out. And those of you in other parts of the world, you will not need to go to the Facebook. You can just log on to the radio station on our website or on our Facebook page, and you will hear live what is going to be going on. We're working on that very, very seriously. The Lone Star Lamb will be restored, will be ready very soon. Maybe tomorrow, day after, whatever it is. But here's the thing. First of all, before I go to tomorrow or Friday to discuss what I was given money by the government.
This regime, headed by President Joseph Boakai.
No, guys,
appointing you, but they give you money to open radio station.
Guys, to be honest with you, I have not taken money from. In fact, Anthony, let me just tell you, because I didn't want to be misunderstood, I did not visit anybody when I came to Liberia. I didn't visit my senators, my representative, even Councillor Gonglo. I did not visit him. I did not visit nobody from my house to the station. And so it is not true. We'll be discussing that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I did not receive any money.
I don't want you eat your cake and
before they.
Yeah. So please, I don't want you to get anybody on
him. For tomorrow, we're in against you.
Listen. Please. We want people to listen.
He's trying to preempt the show for tomorrow.
Okay, no, okay. Let me leave it like that.
You know what he's doing?
Because
he's already shivering. He's scared now. He's trying to release the information. You're not deleting anything.
In fact, because I'm a Kisi guy and I come from Lofa County, and Mr. Gibson Jero called me to work with him.
I'm trying to appease the Kisi group.
Pay me from his pocket.
So that he can use you as the bait to Joseph Boakai. I understand.
I'm not claiming that because Mr. Jason Jero called you to work with him. In fact, it is a connection from the president's office to use you as an error boy. But I'm going to address that tomorrow. So
we'll talk about that tomorrow. Because
I'm going to take 45 seconds from each one of you because you know, sir, that I got to go home.
No, we gotta go. Yes,
we gotta go. Myself, I gotta go. I thought Solo gotta go pick up his wife.
Yeah, let
ST
go. Let ST go.
I gotta go first. I thought not leaving us here again. No, you will be the last.
I'll be the last. I agree. Yes. Today, I told my wife she to take the car, so I don't go anywhere today. So she had the car.
I was told that you supported Lofa County today.
I see the man looking for support now. You see the kind of crafted way of looking for support.
Yeah, but
okay, let ST give his final statement.
On a serious
I got a beautiful wife from Grand Chile, so it doesn't matter.
On a serious note, what's going on in Big Mountain is a failure of government. It's a complete failure, utter failure of government. Government is the one that should set the tunes, create the standard for anything that happens. That's why we have the labor law, we got environmental law, we got all these things they're supposed to regulate. Here in the West, where we work, if you work in any place, whether concession or whatever, the OSHA page is posted in the public place. It's a standard. You got to post it there so that you know how workers are supposed to be taken care of by their companies and all of that. Whoever works in confined spaces, there are regulations, there are standards, there are PPE, there are things. But the problem is government is careless, government is lazy, government is heartless. They take money from these companies and they renege on their duties, on their authority, so they cannot impose anything on the company that has already given them bribe. What the people going through in Big Mountain, there's for no reason they should go through it. It's a government failure, and now we're trying to use Big Mountain as the scapegoat for government failure. That's all that is happening. And I think we should go back to the drawing board. If we have to review those contracts, let's review them and let our people be treated like human beings. Let our people be dignified in the labor that they do. We're not even paying them well, and we can't even take care of them. It is unacceptable. It's a failure of government. The protest should not be against Big Mountain. The protest should be against government.
Thank you, LC.
I think you can go.
Thank you. Mr. Gerald, every new administration that comes up, you have an opportunity. I'll give you a perfect example. While the Senegalese new president, 44-year-old young man, did.
Yes.
There's a oil company in Senegal, right? But the entire country only 80% of that country, of that company. When he entered in, the first thing he did is say, look, France, we have to negotiate, or else you got to sell the company to somebody else. France thought that he was bluffing, that, oh, who ought to buy the company? He contacted the Russian, and the Russians too, for him that, oh yeah, we'll buy the company, and plus, even buying the company, here what we'll do, we'll give the country 41%, and then we'll take all the executives that France bring from France, we'll send them out and hire the Senegalese people, and we only need 1 or 2 people from Russia to oversee our affairs. So now France said, whoa, hold on. But this is my territory. The guy said, no, wait. You know what? Another third party said maybe 41% is too much. They bring in Chinese. Chinese say, oh, yeah, my friend, we'll give you 39%. Yes. So now there are 3 people on the table.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to halt your entire operation, bring your license suspended, bring in people. We talk. You guys so and so time or else I'll consider it void. Macron pick up the phone and call and say, look, you are messing with years of relationship with Bill. Say, look, let me tell you, Macron, yeah, that year is based on you taking from us. No more. So the Prime Minister Soko, he told the man, he said, look, if they can't not comply, say, I mean, they're not close down the whole place. You know what they did to Soko? They put bomb in the Peking car. But who briefed him? They say Russia gained the intelligence, don't enter that car, there's bomb in it. In Liberia, we only fixated on the United States and the government of the United States, they are in bed. The whole tobacco that going on, it shouldn't have happened. Because the lawmaker in our country, I don't blame the executive branch, the lawmaker in the country is the problem.
Yep.
The resolution that was signed on the International Criminal Code, ask one of them who read it.
They didn't read it.
They didn't read it. They didn't tell them who were on the drafting committee. Zip. That's the kind of people we have there. So when the Washington DC bureaucrat write whatever they want, it's like to say you go buy the used car, Mr. Gibson. They arbitrary underneath the fine print. If you don't read it, you carry that car on the parking lot, you can't bring it back.
It's on you.
It's on you. That's what happening to Liberia. No lawmaker will take their time to say, let me go through page 1, page 2. I said it, and ST said it. They are listening. They are very much. You think that when they say read it, you have to read it? No. And now you, the senator or the representative, have to read it. Take it to the university. Even take it to the high school. One of the top high school in the area. Say, my boy, I can't pick your brain. What you think? Let us read this thing. You will see what the young people will do. They will point out errors that are in it, and you will just start taking note. Down, can just say any error you bring, make sure the section is there. You jack down those sections. Where you gonna get it? Maybe you get something, or you renovate the school, or you put something in the school for them to remember you by. Now, how the United States will do it? When they say Obamacare, the 3 schools that drafted Obamacare, Harvard, Cambridge, that university student, they not even say get their master's degrees here. They put them in one location. They don't want drafted, but in Liberia. I see the university student. I think I like it too because it's good for them. You are a university student. Instead of you being proactive and talking about issue that they want to be doing battle cry. Say your man. You who? In Uganda today, when Museveni was talking to the people, you know what he said? He said, even Kenya, president, I said it over there. I used to get him at petroleum, but when I tell him, say, let me build a factory here, he wanted us. So I suffered the agreement. No one in Uganda will export any raw material. That's my deal. People put censure on me. So Obama want to 5% to put censure on me. But this is my country. Now Obama country. I'm still here. When I die, then you can export the thing out. But today, Uganda have the most growth in the Sada area. It's more developed. But our laziness is the problem.
And Paul Kagame from Rwanda. No. Hold on. Paul Kagame was a refugee.
I thought you said you wanted to go.
Paul Kagame was a refugee in Uganda under that same Museveni.
I mean, we gotta go, man. We gotta...
Hello. Yeah. We will be leaving from here exactly 11:25. So anything about 11:25, Mr. Soto and Mr. Selu will pay.
Don't worry, we'll deal with that. Let me say my last
one. Gibson brought you on the show, so you can be our link to the president.
You the kissy man. Don't start before going against it. Don't just stay there.
No, the man kissy bending down that trouble he take.
You are part of the why he do for I got 250,000 propaganda. So don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Once the war crowd goes down, we'll pay you.
I went there. I didn't have the opportunity.
The ideas I'm trying to bring here. You see, Paul Kagame, Range Rover, Volvo, BMW, Toyota, you cannot import any car in our country. And when you bring your company, this is Paul Kagame, you bring your company in the country, your CEO, the GNCO have to be Luandis. You got a manager, the supervisor have to be Luandis. So the high you drop in. So now see the poor country. They don't remember genocide. In the morning, when military doing their 4:30, 5 o'clock jogging, women that wear their skin tail and jaw among them. And go because they're so comfortable of doing it. It becomes their routine. But in Liberia, when we have concession agreement, then we want the people like Henry Poe start to explain it to us. How is it now?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you, ST. We are glad that you guys continue to come here. Our man, Anthony Gay didn't come today. He's a fiery talker. Yesterday, he caused a lot of problems for the motorcyclists. And today he didn't come.
when we started walking,
guess what, sir? The head of the motorcycle and tricycle union was kind of listening. Instead of me calling him to talk to him on appearing on the show, he called me and said, "My man, I want to be on your show."
So bring them on the show. Bring them on the show.
But tomorrow they come in tomorrow. And tomorrow they come in.
No, so, we want tomorrow to be exclusively for the Jerus.
All right, no problem. The boy just want to squeeze me, but that's okay. All right,
Monday,
guys. I think the time fast spent, and I want to say thank you guys.
Just one more call, and then we'll wrap up. Just call her. Hello. Okay, the person is off. So
yeah.
So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Once we start the walk around code, we'll pay you.
Listen, guys. Those who are listening to us on the radio, fear not. This is an independent radio station. And as we go along, the people that will appear on the show, you will not believe it. They will be from both sides. Government people, opposition people, we will welcome them here. Your views will not be stifled. We will not choke you. We will not do nothing.
Stop. You say independent. You just coerce me to remove my GAT sign. You want to talk about independent?
But when I thought, how you be our parallel in couple of GST panel?
No, I will control him. I will mute his microphone.
The next time we met time of mute him. Okay, thank you very much.
You see the man whole background, everybody wearing beret.
But listen, I just placed a message in the Talking Point chat room, the Blaze Talking Point chat room. I want you guys to read it. This is serious, okay? It is serious, and we need to look at it and address it on a very serious note. Because, in fact, Solo, your name has been mentioned. Mr. Salif's name has been mentioned in that. And in fact, they are concluding that the entire station, Honorable President Bouaka gave Mr. Jeru money to pretend as a fake radio station going against the presidency. So we need to talk about it. Seriously.
We will. We're making.
We're talking about it.
I feel sorry for
you know why I like. You know why I like about it. You know why I like about the Liberian people. They quit to brand people, but that's okay. We'll deal with that tomorrow. But man, y'all help me. ST will help me. Some kind of way. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, look, guys, we want to show you if you're listening to us. This is an independent station. We will not stop you from speaking. We will not stop for your views. We will not be a hate station, and we will not be a kiss up station. I can guarantee that. That's why we had diversity in our entire staffing. I don't know if you talk about real diversity. We really do have diversity in our staffing. So we want to say thank you very much. I think this.
No, we got
we got Ghanaians.
We got Kisi from Lofa. We got Bassa people. We got Nima people. Do we have any crown there? Anthony, do we have any crown?
We got 2 persons from Granchi there.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for letting me know. I don't even know. So Tony, I don't even know we have 2 persons from Granchi.
When you talking diversity, you talk about Nigerian Ghanaians.
I beg you, I will leave Anthony from Lofa.
Diversity are all the tribes in Liberia.
All the illegal housing the tribe now, right?
So only one tribe we don't have. It's the better people, because they are very difficult to find. The better people, or we have everybody.
STD expect me to leave a Kisi man and go bring a Ghana man?
No, how will we get the job? How will we get the Joseph Bouaka if we don't bring the Kisi man?
You expect me to leave? You expect me to leave the Bassa man and go bring the Nigerian man? They will say I employ alien.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
His speech will do that. Okay, his speech will analyze the entire speech on Monday. That will be very serious about the establishment of the work.
We let baking, Labreco let baking.
No, to be honest, listen, guys. Listen, when we are in America, what we do in America is completely different, because in America we are at no man land. So if I have a job, in Liberia, the Liberian law say before you give a Lebanese man a position, you must ask yourself first. Is there no Liberian who can do this job? Before you give a Senegalese man a job, if I want to give somebody station manager, a program director job, like in Anthony's case, I'm gonna ask myself first: is there no Liberian who can be my program director? If the answer is yes, then I have to take that Liberian first. That's what the law says. So until there are certain jobs that we can find Liberian for, we definitely will go to Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and
fortunately for me, I'm the only person that the only Kisi Liberian that suit that position, and I accept it wholeheartedly. So in Kisi, we call everybody La, L-A, La. So I want to say in Kisi, La Barika, you're taking.
So, thank you. All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you. It's a great time.
Okay.